Live streaming by livestreaming247.com. Maverick, Richard Ignacio, thank you so much. We're here in Panama City Beach. This is the first round of the 2020 Pro Watercross season. I know, I'm into that math thing this morning. Rick, we had a great day yesterday. There was some fantastic racing. This morning, it seems good. The only thing that's lacking a little bit is any announcing, I think.
Well, I think some of the dates are kind of weird here, but no, to say the least, conditions beautiful here again today in Panama City Beach, Florida for round number 1, and we're picking up where we left off yesterday with phenomenal racing. Beautiful, beautiful beach conditions. Gosh, the water is gorgeous. This beautiful sandy beach here in Panama City Beach is just amazing. Just this sugar sand, I think you call it.
It's spectacular.
And the water, we look out over here, and it's just gorgeous. And right now we've got vintage 550 mods on the track, and they are finishing up their moto number 2. They are all the riders are out of Texas. They've all come together, and they've got a nice vintage 550 mod scene down there out there in Texas. And so they're putting on a show right now for us with Ralph Henning out of Orange, Texas. He has definitely been dominating this class. Really fun to see the vintage 550s out here. Again, they came last year, and checkered flag comes out for Ralph as he takes another easy win in this class. But you know, that's for bragging rights, as we were saying, these guys are all buddies.
Well, and you know they love to ride because the checker flags come out and they're still going.
They're looking over.
That's right. We're not pulling over until you make us.
They came a long ways.
Right, exactly.
We're going to get some extra riding time in here. It's perfect.
The other, right?
The conditions are absolutely perfect for pro watercross racing. Kurt and I would like some bigger waves here, but you know, a week ago, if we'd have been here, it was about 10 to 15 feet.
Right.
With a tropical storm that blew through, and that might have been just a skosh much. But
well, you know, those are survival, right?
Yeah, I checked the surf forecast last Saturday when I was at home, and it was like 10 to 15 feet and 26-mile-per-hour winds.
Yeah, I checked it this morning. It's 10 to 12 inches.
And that's going to do it for vintage 550 mods. Amateur runabout box stock on the starting line. This is going to be moto number 2 for this class, as we run basically all moto 2s and moto 3s in the amateur division for all of today's racing.
Right, and like the new format too, Rick. It's lightens up Sunday so we can get into our award ceremony earlier.
That's true.
People have got a long way to travel.
That's
they can get going earlier.
And Saturdays are just action-packed, man.
Spectacular. You got to be ready.
You got to be ready to rock and roll because there's three pro motos take place on Saturday, and yesterday's action was just absolutely phenomenal, fast and furious, to say the least. And but we're having a good time here this morning in Panama City Beach. We're at Sharky's Club right behind us on the beach. What a place that is. Restaurant, bar. Boy, it was
a lot of fun there.
It's going off all weekend long, and a lot of fun, to say the least.
I know. It's, you know, with your leg length, you can stumble about six steps, and you got a drink in hand.
I'm good to go.
Well, down on the line, who we got that's really exciting here? We got Tori Snyder.
We're going to start out with yesterday's winner on boat number 110 out of Bradenton, Florida. Yeah, Tori Snyder.
Hey, on the 149 out of Perdido Key, he's sponsored by Liquid MOLY, Brisk Anti-Gravity. Got to find out what that is. HydroTurf and Jet Tribe, David Howell.
Number 157 out of Summerlin, Florida, on the Dean's team, Tattoo Rich Racing, Riva Racing, Bennett Construction, Forever Hooked, Yamaha. It's Gentleman Jim Bennett.
Glad to see Gentleman Jim back with his bionically repaired shoulder. And speaking of which, on the 176 out of Miami, Florida, with her own bionically repaired shoulder, Valentina Lescano. She's sponsored by Miami Jet Ski, Riva, Liquid MOLY, and Jet Pilot.
Number 215 out of Canton, Georgia, sponsored by PWC Muscle on the Yamaha. That is Seth Nema.
On the 228 out of Union, New Jersey, Yamaha mounted, Michael Borges.
420 out of PCB, Florida. I believe that's Panama City Beach, Florida. And I like the abbreviation there on the Yamaha. 31 years old, Greg Robertson.
And rounding out the field on the 808 out of Mooresville, North Carolina. He's sponsored by Riva, Fly Racing, Jet Pilot, HydroTurf, Champion Power Sports. It's Graham Hunt. And as I look down there, I don't see Michael Borges on the line. Good start.
Well, looks like 110. Torrey Snyder. Oh.
Ouch.
With the lead, but
and
he.
Yeah, taking the Joker boy right then and there.
157. Jim Bennett emerges into the lead down the front straightaway here in the amateur runabout box stock division.
Yeah, the radio chatter going on. Some missed boys. You saw Torrey Snyder miss it on the inside, and he went and got the Joker. Are you talking about the orange one? He went on the wrong side.
All right, on the inside split, 157. It is Jim Bennett with the race lead.
Torrey Snyder taking two Joker boys in one lap. I think that's got to be a record somehow.
And he is in second place presently.
He's like, I'm sorry, Dad. I took the Joker boys. I even did an extra one just to be sure. Well, gentlemen, Jim Bennett, I'll tell you what, the end of last year in Naples, he was on fire. Really had built up his speed all season long, been working on that boat. Now he's got his new boat here. He's got his repaired shoulder, and he's making good use of it here as he's leading this Moto number 2.
Yeah, he looks over his shoulder as he comes onto the front straightaway from that inside split, looks over and sees Torrey Snyder right in his grill as Torrey Snyder bears down on Jim Bennett. Snyder on that 110 Yamaha, chasing the 157 of Jim Bennett down the back straightaway.
Yeah, and as Valentina Lescano was a little slow getting going, but she's starting to reel in the top 3 little by little.
Jim Bennett goes to the outside split. Torrey Snyder now elects to go inside. Let's see where they come out as they merge onto the front straightaway. Going to be pretty close, but it's going to be Jim Bennett maintaining the lead over Torrey Snyder. One more lap at the halfway point in this second moto for amateur runabout box stock.
Yeah, no question. I'm not to get in the rider's head, but I'm thinking Torrey is still a little out of kilter after missing that buoy and that little bump at the end of the straightaway.
Yeah, that's a rough way to begin the race because you really get out of your sync. You're not flowing. You got to get back into that flow and get a nice drive going around the race course and be consistent. But he did win Moto number 1 yesterday, so he's still in a great position in second place here in Moto number 2 behind Bennett.
Well, honestly,
if he does not get around Bennett, which he may very well get around Bennett before this thing's over. Who knows?
He may, but he's not going to do it without getting to that inside split first. I don't believe he can do it from the outside. Bennett has got that inside dialed. And besides that, you're on the front straightaway in the last lap. You've got half the distance to the checker. You got to get to that inside somehow. All right, let's watch him down the back straightaway. Bennett with the lead, but Snyder getting inside in that clear water. And he's going to go straight, trying to use that outside. It's all he can do. He's not going to make it by passing Bennett on the inside. It's too tight. And look at Torrey Snyder. Jim Bennett stuffed it twice. It's going to be close. They'll be side by side. Bennett's got position. Snyder's got speed. Does he have enough? Will he cut him off?
He looked.
And they both go through there.
He went over. He came over and cut off Bennett and took over the lead.
Well,
that was tight.
Torrey left him enough room. He
did
completely shut the door.
He started coming over. Then he veered back right a little bit to give Bennett a little bit of room. And but he was still able to go around the outside with the speed he had built up. You know, he came onto the front straightaway, or came onto the outside split really well that lap.
No
he
question.
had a lot of speed coming off the back straightaway, and made that work on that split that time. That really showed that if you launch onto that outside split with the speed that he did, you can make it work.
Well, and in fairness to Bennett, he stuck it twice on the inside on that lap, and that allowed.
He did not get a clean run through that inside split at all.
No, and with a clean run, I think he'd still be in front, although albeit not near as close as it was a few laps ago.
Well, you can see now that Torrey's gotten around Bennett. Once he got around, he's pulled out. So he did have greater speed on the track, greater lap times, but Bennett was able to keep him at bay until that last lap. So great racing by Torrey Snyder. Checkered flag comes out, and he's going to make it another win here in Moto number 2.
A win and a win. Oh, look at this.
And he's going to
Gentlemen,
keep going.
Jim Bennett's got some company as they go to the flag. Yeah, that's Graham Hunt in that 3rd position. Valentino Lescano in the 4th spot.
Torrey Snyder kept going. He's putting in another lap, and so is that Hunt? I believe is that Graham Hunt also going?
It is.
One more lap. I don't know.
Yeah, that was Seth Namath that came off at the end of the back straightaway.
Must not have noticed the flag coming out. Kind of unusual.
Oh, they use flags?
What flag?
All right, look at them all lined up already. Amateur ski stock, race number 12. We need veterans runabout box stock, amateur runabout super stock. You guys need to be heading down to staging right now.
On the starting line, amateur ski stock, Moto number 2, number 15 from High Point, North Carolina, riding for STB Racing. That is Connor Richuk.
On the number 18 Yamaha out of Rutherford, North Carolina, and I, for one, want to change the name of that town. Sponsored by B&M Power Sports and powered by Prayer, Brad Hill.
That is a tough one to say, no question.
It is.
Number 33 out of Crestview, Florida, riding for Brits Power Sports. That is Zachary Eisenhunt.
On the double 4 out of Syracuse, Indiana, Yamaha mounted Zeke Kime. He's sponsored by Speed Racing, Synergy RV Transport, Ignite Fuel Seed, Polo Racing, and Technical Service.
Number 55 out of Syracuse, Indiana, riding for Ignite Performance, Jay Finlinson.
On the 85 out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, Dustin Higgin by Team 332. Robbie Finlinson on the double 9, Taylor Stewart on the 315, and rounding out the field on the Sullivan 11, Andrew Hancock. Who's out front, Rick?
Keep an eye into the first turn.
Is that Taylor Stewart?
That looks like Taylor Stewart out in front, number 315 with the hole shot. And he's going to the outside split, and it is 44. Zeke Kime on the inside split. Keep an eye on Zeke. He looked really good yesterday, and he took the win here in Moto number 1 as Stewart comes onto the front straightaway. Zeke makes the turn onto the front, and they are going to be side by side. Taylor going to hold a slight edge over Kime going in to that left-hand turn at the end of the front straightaway, and Taylor spins out, or Zeke spins out, I'm sorry. Taylor did a nice turn there, and he's maintaining the lead.
Oh, Zeke went down. Zeke went down. He's still holding on, though.
And he was
He'll remount in 4th position.
It's like out of kilter. Unusual for Zeke Kime right there to lose a little bit of concentration.
Well, when he
couple
came
of
on
bobbles.
When he came on the straight here, Rick, he really leaned that thing over and just slid it about 6 feet over. He almost went out of his lane. He would have been a lap down had that happened. All right, Taylor Stewart in the lead. First lead of the year for Mr. Stewart.
All right, amateur ski stock, Moto number 2. Stewart yesterday finished in 4th place in Moto number 1 as he makes the turn, maintains the lead. To wheel and deal. This is your first chance in 2020 to get all the latest merchandise from the Pro Watercross National Tour. So make your way over there, say hi to AJ, and grab the latest, greatest Pro Watercross merchandise.
Yeah, you can go out there and get a signature. Not on a check, just a signature.
Oh, Connor Richuk out in front, number 15 out of High Point, North Carolina.
Wow. Once again, I said it earlier, Connor Ritchuk, you know, he reminds me, and of course it's a ski, but like his brother a couple of years ago.
And that's 99. Robbie Finlinson moving into second position. 44, Zeke Kime in third. And then Stewart now drops back to fourth place. And he spins out at the end of the front straightaway and goes down.
And Jay Finlinson goes by.
So Stewart has almost gone from first to last here in
But
about
he did it
a
quickly.
lap and a half.
He did it quickly.
Yes, he did.
Veterans Runabout Box Stock, Amateur Runabout Superstock should be on the line now unless he won both. That's going to be an easy win. And then, of course, Sports Stock, they're going to be in staging. Connor Ritchuk gets the cross flags halfway through. Ritchuk pushed his way forward. He's staying ahead of Robbie Finlinson. Well, the whole Indiana crew.
Ritchuk goes down.
Yeah.
Ritchuk goes down. Here comes Finlinson. Can Finlinson get? Oh, Ritchuk looks around. Finland says, I'm on the inside, buddy. You look to the outside. And what a battle side by side. And Ritchuk goes down again. He is not able to get sorted out quickly enough as Finlinson goes by and Zeke Kime goes by into second. And Ritchuk now back up and underway in third or fourth. Looks like he's going to take third, maintain that.
Is that Jay Finlinson then? And Robbie just went, he got passed by two Finlinsons in the same corner.
And he just got passed one more time. Now that was 55 Jay Finlinson that went around for third. So now our leader comes onto the front straightaway. That is
Robbie
99.
Finlinson.
That's Robbie out in front. Robbie, 13 years old. 44 Zeke Kime in second. Zeke, 16 years old. And 55 is Jay Finlinson at 15. All three of those riders part of the Indiana Mafia.
Jay
It looks like
down.
Jay's got a motor problem.
There goes Ritchuk. Ritchuk was starting to pull on him. And as I look down there and say it, Ritchuk backs out of the throttle.
And Finlinson down in the water with a mechanical.
That's unfortunate.
These guys come all the way from Syracuse, Indiana, here to Panama City Beach, Florida, and you hate to see these mechanical breakdowns. But that is part of racing, no question about it. And it happens.
Zeke Kime
Zeke now moves up.
putting the pedal to the metal.
And he is in the lead, number 44, out of Syracuse, Indiana, as we mentioned. Zeke Kime, and right behind him now, 99. That is Robbie. And those guys are no strangers. They train, practice together from the same town. And unfortunately, Jay comes in on the hook.
Well, Connor Ritchuk making a move up, and here comes Taylor Stewart again. So these riders, it's like there's a bungee cord. They go out and they come back, and they go out and they come back.
Veterans Runabout Box Stock and Amateur Runabout Super Stock, you should be on the starting line right now. White flag out, number 44, Zeke Kime takes it as he leads this over 99, his buddy, Robbie Finlinson.
And I'll tell you what, this is the ride of the weekend for Zeke. He's got out front, and he's stretching his lead. He's in the water.
Yeah, Zeke took he took the win. Oh, and he's swimming. Here comes Robbie. Zeke back up in the tray. Robbie goes by into the lead. Now, Robbie got a 6th yesterday in Moto number 1. So 13-year-old Robbie Finlinson in the lead as Zeke still
he can't get that thing
in the tray
up.
trying to get the fire lit on that number 44. Oh, Zeke needs to get going. He gets back up and underway just in the nick of time to hang on to second position, which will be good for him because with a first place in Moto number 1, that'll bode well going into the third final Moto. But right now it's going to be Robbie Finlinson, 99.
Oh, another rider goes down.
Taking the win here in Moto number 2.
I think Zachary Eisenhut out of Crestview. He's been in the water a couple of times. Difficult ride for him. I'm not certain. I haven't seen that name before, or at least don't remember.
Yes. 44, Zeke Hine hangs on for a second place finish. So he will be in the driver's seat heading into Moto number 3 with the first and a second in the first 2 motos. All right, on the starting line, veterans runabout box stock, amateur runabout super stock, and we are missing some riders.
But not one on the 528 at Charlotte, North Carolina. Frank Ortiz, ready to rock.
At this point, Frank may have a real easy moto coming up.
Well, he may have to lap himself to get a second position in there. So, no Osbornes, no Nunes, no Borges. Apparently, Frank Ortiz put the fear into the rest of that group because they just packed up and left.
And while we have just a minute, let me make another announcement for the merchandise booth being open. Pro Watercross merchandise booth is open, and the 2020 Pro Watercross shirts are available down there. Go say hello to Mr. AJ Handler while you're down there and grab a 2020 shirt to take home from the event this weekend. And there he goes, 528. All by himself out there. Is going to be a easy moto win for Frank Ortiz. That's too bad. Not sure what happened to the other competitors, but they are not here to race. And
well, you're assuming he's going to make
line,
it all the way around to the start-finish line.
If you're not on the line, you're not on the line. So we will move forward. Up next will be race number 14. And that is Sports Stock. This will be a good one coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Sports Stock on the starting line.
Oh, this is the dads and the kids. Sammy Niemi, Hayden Skellett.
All right, Frank Ortiz makes his laps as he's out there by himself. That gives us time to set up the race here in
Ortiz going to the outside.
Oh, man. Only you could get excited about this one, Kurt.
Hey, if it's watercraft racing, I'm excited.
Sports Stock on the line. This is going to be a great race. 12 entries this weekend. Yesterday it was Bobby Cardone on that 239 taking the win in Moto number 1. He led wire to wire. Ken Waddle finished in second.
Just a public service announcement for Pro Watercross and Richard Ignacio. His iPhone camera fell in the water there somewhere off of the start line, I do believe. So if anybody sees it, please bring it back up here to the Tower of Power. Yeah, and he's winning it.
Robert Sand, race director, just ready to go with Sports Stock. Excited about this one coming up.
Checker flag coming out for Frank Ortiz. He sets up hard on the outside. Folks, give him a round of applause. He comes down the main straightaway.
All right, good job, Frank.
Gotta love it when you show up after paying your entry fees. Get to race.
It is what it is. So We'll go down, turn our attention down to the starting line. On boat number 2 out of Port Charlotte, Florida, riding for Wade Chapin Power Sports, Broward Motorsports in Action, Kawasaki, and Abaco is Hayden Skellett.
On the number 13 out of Davie, Florida, sponsored by Broward Motorsports, Judge Motorsports, Shoei Cabrera Motorsports, Jet Trim, Jet Pilot, and Works Racing, Sammy Niemi.
Boat number 36 out of Bonita Springs, Florida, riding for Fluid Film and UMY Racing. That is Jason Zahagan.
On the 86, Wyatt Hayes out of Dawsonville, Georgia.
Number 95, Ken Waddle out of Davie, Florida.
On the 116 out of Ackworth, Devin Farthing.
Number 201, Christopher Landis.
On the 239, Bobby Cardone.
295, Taylor Skellett.
On the 296, Thomas Skellett.
And 521, Talon Farthing.
Rounding out the field on the 699, John Haran.
All right, it was 239, Bobby Cardone, who's on the inside right now. He took the win yesterday in Moto number 1. In second place right next to him, Ken Waddle, and then 116, Devin Farthing in third place.
Side
and
by
that's
side.
where they sit on the line.
They want the inside here, no question. Oh, Sammy Niemi and
Sammy
Devin
got a good
Farthing.
jump. And Farthing.
Wow.
It's Farthing and Niemi look like leading into the first turn. Waddle now on the
Trying
inside.
to squeak by on the inside
He's
there.
making a bid, but he is not going to get there as it is. Oh, and
Devin
Sammy goes down.
Goes sideways, spins around.
Oh, Farthing is spun around.
Yeah, and Niemi stayed on. I believe that was Niemi stayed
They
on
both spun. I saw Niemi spin, and then I saw Farthing spin. All back up and underway. Good deal there. And that's going to shake things up here in Moto number 2. Landis, Christopher Landis takes the lead, 201 out in front.
Followed by Ken Waddle, then
Sammy
Niemi.
Niemi. Wow, he recovered well.
Well, I tell you, Hayden Skellett back there making a move. He's back. He's up into 4th position now.
Yeah.
Taylor Skellett back there about in 7th or 8th position. Bobby Cardone dead last.
Boy, I tell you what, Sammy Niemi recovered well in that first turn. I thought he was down.
Boy, I am amazed that you can spin a blaster, stay on it.
I was
not
watching
you
him.
or I. We
I was
cannot
watching
do that.
him in the binoculars,
Not a
and
chance.
he was completely sideways, going down, and
At
all of a
speed,
sudden
yeah.
back up and good.
Yeah, it's like ballet. And Christopher Landis, boy, I tell you what, he's going to be hard to pass here. Ken Waddle right there. Sammy Niemi in full-on attack mode, but look out, Sammy. Hayden Skellett right there behind you. Devin Farthing, boy, he's got his work cut out for him now. It looks like Cardone's starting to move up into the pack a little bit.
Yeah, yesterday's winner sits in last place right now. What a turn of events for Cardone. As he took the win in Moto number 1.
Boy, Christopher Landis looking smooth out there today. And honestly, yesterday he was having some problems on that blaster. He was looking great on the runabout. Looks like he's got it tuned in and dialed. Landis hooking and cooking, man.
Absolutely, down the back straightaway with Ken Waddle behind him.
Boy, Mr. Reliable Ken Waddle.
Oh, he is.
I'll tell you what, Jan's going out of her mind right now at home watching the live stream. Hello, Jan. We're missing you on the beach.
Ken in second, then Sammy Niemi recovering from that near disaster going around the first turn. And he sits in third currently with Hayden Skellett now closing in on that number 2 blaster right behind him.
Well, I'll tell you, at one point in this race, there's going to be a change. We haven't hit halfway flags yet. Hayden Skellett, I don't expect him to stay back and forth.
We need our freestylers to the beach right in front here, please, down near the starting line. All freestyle competitors need to come down to the starting line at this time.
Boy, how's that? You're doing freestyle and getting judged by Jeff Kantz, perhaps one of the greatest freestylists ever. He and
Yeah, he's a
Larry
legit-
Rippenkrover, Scott Watkins.
He's a legit judge, no question about it. You know, it's good to see Jeff yesterday here. Came last year, good to see him again this year. Great guy. Gosh, goes way back.
Halfway flags out for Christopher Landis. He's starting to stretch his lead. Ken Waddle, boy, Ken is really strong in this moto. He's got Sammy Niemi, Hayden Skellett, and now Devin Farthing. Farthing moved all the way up into fourth spot. At this point, I got to say, look out. Hayden Skellett, Devin Farthing is knocking in your back door.
Yeah, Farthing spun out in that first turn. He was next to Sammy Niemi. Sammy recovered somehow. I still don't know how that all worked out. I have to see the replay on that. But Devin ended up spinning out completely, and but back up underway and charging. One of the faster riders, definitely in the sport class today, is Devin Farthing, and he is on the gas right now.
And Farthing taking the outside split. Wise, 4 riders on the inside. Farthing goes to the outside. Man, that kid is making all the right moves right now.
Landis leads at 2:01. One more time down the front straightaway, 55. Ken Waddle in second, 13 Sammy Niemi. 2 is Hayden Skellett, and then here comes Farthing on 116, moving up behind Skellett.
Check. All right, Christopher Landis throwing the gauntlet down here on the inside. Bobby Cardone was way out in front, and he's in dead last now. Well, maybe not dead last, but getting into lapped riders here. Landis.
Farthing trying to find a way around Skellett, and he goes wide and loses his drive.
Well, we got lapped rider there, and it's holding up the whole bunch. Watch as they try and get around. Landis finally did. He's on the back straightaway. He's going to have some company coming. Ken Waddle right there. And look at Sammy Niemi using the inside. Oh, did you see Sammy go sideways in the straightaway? Man, there's a hole out there that these guys are hitting.
That's twice he's done it. He did it around the first turn. And look at the battle right now on the left-hand side, outside split.
Woo!
Side by side. Sammy Niemi, Hayden Skellett, tooth and nail battle.
Oh, here comes Sammy.
Down the front straightaway.
He and Ken Waddle.
Waddle now trying to hold off the young guns.
Look at that move by Sammy Niemi.
It's Niemi. It's Hayden and Farthing all going at it. The young guns making a bid right now to try to get around 55. Ken Waddle.
And he's having none of it.
He's making that blaster about 6 feet wide right now in the turns.
Well, Ken is riding a smooth race. He's taking the best lines, meaning anybody that's going to pass him is going to have to do it by coming in with a lot more speed or cutting underneath, and he's just not going to allow that. Waddle and Christopher Landis going on the inside, but on the outside, Sammy Niemi
look at
on
that
fire.
Look at that battle on the inside with Hayden Skellett and Devin Farthing.
And Devin making a move. He is going to be in third or fourth position
Here
here.
they come, and it's Sammy maintaining third. Devin moves up past Hayden Skellett. Devin now into fourth, and he sets its sights on Sammy Niemi. 1 lap to go. This is going to be exciting as these riders are bunched up behind Waddle. The young guns on the gas here late in moto number 2.
No question. I'll tell you what, Sammy Niemi has had the most exciting third place ride I've seen in a long time. He's gone forward, got pushed back, goes forward, get pushed back.
Oh! And Sammy goes down.
Man, that part of the track for him on that boat it's kryptonite.
Yeah, there's something there that he does not get along well with. Sammy goes down. Landis comes. Here comes Waddle. Waddle charging hard behind Landis on the inside split. Christopher Landis, number 201, is going to take the win. Waddle's going to hang on to a well-deserved second, and it's going to be Devin Farthing charging up past Hayden Skellett to take third.
Wow, what a race.
Sports Stock delivers again. Perfect battles out there.
Bobby Cordone, I can't even comment on where he is in the scoring.
I
but right
think
behind
about
him, I
fifth.
believe that's Talon Farthing.
I think Bobby worked his way up to about fifth, I would guess, somewhere
me,
unofficially, yeah.
Sammy Nemi and Talon Farthing a little bit further in the back. All right, race 15, amateur freestyle, pro freestyle.
Got our freestylers down on the beach. We need all of our freestylers right down in front of announcing. We need our freestylers on the beach. Oh, Brad is going to be our lone freestyler today. Well, good. Then what we'll do is have Brad go out and put on a little show. If that's cool, Robert. Just have Brad go out and put on a little show for a couple of minutes. Perfect. Real good. Brad Hill going to go out, ladies and gentlemen, on that Eric Malone Enterprises Royd freestyle specific boat, and he's going to put on a little show for us today here. Great guy, Brad Hill.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun. Brad, you got your helmet strapped?
Brad's not going to lose his helmet.
Man, look at the length or lack thereof of the Royd, man.
They're so small. Rick Roy, I was out at Havasu a few years ago, and Rick Roy, we were talking. He goes, you can backflip. Yeah. I said, yeah, right. He goes, no, I'm going to, show you how to do a backflip.
Seriously?
Yeah. So we went. I met him at Body Beach on Monday morning, real early, and so I go, okay. So he brings out. They got the crew out there, and I got on one of the Richters, kind of like that. And there was no chance I was going to do a backflip. Dude.
I was waiting to hear that you did it.
I tried.
I mean, you're already one of my heroes, but you would have been elevated from there.
There was no chance.
I know.
I could barely. Riding those things. To give credit to these freestylers, these boats are very short and they're very powerful, and they have a lot of. I think Rick's, the one I was on, was like a 1200 cc with about 1 million horsepower,
right.
All of it low-end torque, and the thing's going, I'm trying to ride it, and it's like going like this, and just riding the thing was a challenge, and then to spin it around, create your own wake, and do a backflip takes a little bit of practice. If I could have done that, I would have been pretty stoked with myself.
I'll bet.
I will tell you.
And unfortunately, Brad having a little bit of a problem getting this thing started. We've got some time. We'll let him
I would have
pull the hood and make it happen. He is done?
If I would have been able to pull off a backflip, I probably would have went straight from Body Beach to the ER. Okay, we're going to continue right now, going right into Moto 3's race 16. We need you on the starting line. Ski 4-stroke stock to the line. And that would put race 17 junior sport stock, novice sport stock in staging.
Hey, you know what this is? This is an opportunity, Mr. Lake, to go over and see the famous or infamous A.J. Handler. He's underneath the official Pro Watercross merchandise tent. Stop in and get your 2020 Pro Watercross merchandise while you can. We've got a selection of sizes. I know double extra large is always a challenge.
If I did not have to be up here announcing, I would be down there in the merchandise booth right now, Kurt.
Right, having fun with AJ.
Oh, you bet. There's no better place to be while we're having a little break than to check out the latest 2020 Pro Watercross merchandise.
I'm not certain. I think we're going single color. Single color dual elimination with the Pro Watercross gear. Or so says Avery Underhill. Glad to have Avery back with the crew. Yeah, see? People are smart. They're going to go over there and get their shirts while they can and get the size that fits and get A.J. Handler's signature on it, which could be worth dollars later on in life.
If not
There's
less.
Whole Shot Stewart down there. Looking like Jebediah. Man, that beard is massive. That thing's thick. You shaved last night. Yeah, right. Taylor Stewart providing some humor for us. Thank you so much. And we're waiting for a little paperwork. Got to say, Rick, this is, not to beat a beautiful dead horse, but man, what a great place to go to work, right?
Oh, this is phenomenal. Absolutely could not be better. Panama City Beach, Florida this weekend has been absolutely exquisite. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous race site. The sand, the water, the...
Dance underneath the stars and on my feet. The sun is always shining for you. White sand and turquoise blue. Oh, let's explore, make it yours.
We're here at Sugden Park, ready to go.
Are you ready to see some pro watercross racing?
Let's get the inside.
It's going down today here in scenic Naples, Florida on the Paradise Coast. It's here at the Broward Motorsports Pro Watercross World Championships.
This is going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight.
Oh!
When you come to the World Championship, you're always going to have the top riders from all around the country here battling for first place.
Somebody comes out of this race as a world champion.
All year long, you're testing and tuning and training and doing the whole national tour to build yourself up to be ready to race at this event.
Hey, I'm PK Ewing. I'm the Pro Watercross Ambassador, and we have big news here at Pro Watercross. I want to tell you about our new 3 pillars, our initiative. We are now a nonprofit, an educational nonprofit, and we are pushing 3 new initiatives: safety, the environment, and fostering amateur competition.
I've been waiting for this whole year for this. This is just fun.
Comes Arminio making the charge down the front straightaway. Full throttle entire time.
So, that's with anything. We're pushing the limits, and everyone, is super competitive, and we want to win. And, that's what it is, and I deal with the drama. He tried, literally just wrecking my boat, and it came into my face. Hopefully, I rise to the top.
Pro Watercross is about family. It is about competition, camaraderie, and teamwork. And these are things that are hallmarks in my life as a combat veteran, and I find them in abundance here with everybody.
It was really a lot of fun there.
Yep, that was a great event. We had the racing, also had a big contingent of recreational riders partaking in the event that weekend, and then of course the wonderful barbecue. And we are ready to go racing. Ski 4-stroke stock moto number 3. Here we go. It's been all Camden Powell this weekend in this class, and Camden has been the story here.
Well, he had position
in Panama City Beach.
He didn't get off there quite fast enough. I think Kenny McKenzie out there taking a hole shot. Kenny going inside, Camden going outside, side by side. Who's that with him? Is that Richuk?
That is number 55, Jay Finlinson.
Yeah.
With Camden, but Camden now out in front, coming onto the front straightaway. 44, Camden Powell charging down the front straightaway. Kenny McKenzie looks over on the inside, and he's got Camden Powell bearing down on him real hard as they go around that left-hander at the end of the front straight.
Did you hear that, Rick? I could hear his thought pattern. Darn it, there's Camden again. I get the whole shot, and this kid's right behind me.
Well, Camden definitely opened a lot of eyes yesterday in that Pro-Am GP ski class, taking on some really, really heavy talent and emerging in second place. He really was fast on that Bullet Racing V4 that he raced, and to a second place finish, a strong second place finish, right behind Dustin Matsuris. And it was a great showing yesterday for Camden, and he's picking up right here in the ski 4-stroke stock class with a pair of wins in motos 1 and 2, and trying to get around McKenzie to make it a clean sweep this weekend.
Yeah, he's inching up on him. Meanwhile, Jay Finlinson working his way up. There's Taylor Stewart and Connor Richuk going at it.
Down the back straightaway, the leader, Kenny McKenzie, boat number 77. Kenny out of Pomeria, South Carolina, riding for RaceLabsPerformance.com, Hurricane Racing, LPW Performance, and Pro Rider.
Camden Powell on fire, folks. It's going to be close.
Yeah, Powell charging on that outside split.
Oh, Camden just looked over his shoulder. Wrong thing to do. He slowed down momentarily, and it cost him at least 2 boat lengths here, Rick.
He is right there, though, on McKenzie. You know, coming off that back straightaway, when they make that left-hand turn, if you get that, keep your speed up and get a really strong drive onto that outside split, you can make up a little ground, I think, because when you go to the inside, you got to make a tighter turn, and you lose a little bit of speed. And even though the outside split's a tad longer, you keep the speed up and hit it just right. We saw that happen earlier today.
Yeah, no question about it, Rick. And we saw it first with Torrey Snyder. He was going further and further behind. He made a good drive off of the outside.
Just charged it.
And took over.
Just charged it so hard.
Camden Powell trying to make that move. He's on the front straightaway first. He's going to have some speed. He's going to close up here at the end of the front straightaway, going wide, going to try and dive inside. Use that pump wash as a berm. He does it. Camden Powell inching up on Kenny McKenzie. Kenny, what, 3 times his age? A little bit.
Yep, and this is the ski 4-stroke stock class, and all of these riders are aboard.
Oh, Camden
goes down momentarily on that back straightaway. As I was saying, these are the ski Kawasaki SXR 1500s. All these riders are aboard in this ski 4-stroke stock class now. And we've seen from the first year when these boats were launched and released by Kawasaki, riders had a hard time with them.
Oh, I remember Minoru Kanemaru and Craig Warner showing him off for the first time there in Arizona, and Warner had trouble staying on the thing.
Yeah, they were a big adjustment to get used to, but now you see these riders all very competent, making good turns and just charging on these boats, and it's come a long way. They've got them dialed in.
Connor Ritchuk taking the Joker boy over here, and that's moving him back a little bit. Out in front, Kenny McKenzie. And Camden Powell, boy, like a rubber band, right? He's gone stretch it out, and he's coming right back at him.
And here comes McKenzie on the
here
inside
comes
split.
Powell.
Here comes Powell. McKenzie making the turn. Here comes Powell charging.
He's
Is
got
he
the
going to have
speed.
enough speed to get by McKenzie? McKenzie takes the inside. Can he hold it? Powell dives in hard, and he gets the end. Oh, and Powell goes down.
Oh, almost.
Almost made it
Man.
slip down there a little bit, went down into the tray, and maintained his drive, but McKenzie was able to get away one more time.
Could you feel the psychic energy from Derek Powell willing his son to go up and not go over there? He went both sides and kept it on, kept it pinned.
McKenzie one more time. He's gonna maintain that inside split. Going to force Powell to go outside and try to go around him. Powell now charging hard on the outside split. McKenzie coming in on the inside, going to make the turn. Here comes Powell making that turn already. Here comes McKenzie. It's going to be close one more time. McKenzie looks over and says, "Not this time, Camden."
Well, you know what it is. It's going to be all about youthful enthusiasm versus, I've forgotten the phrase. But Kenny McKenzie.
Veteran experience.
Veteran experience. Well, I'm just thinking of physical stamina. The young man, you know, when it gets to that final lap, is going to have a little bit more reserve. Let's see what happens as they tighten up right here. McKenzie going to the inside. Powell to the outside. Once again, Powell looks like he got a good drive, and McKenzie stuck it just a little. Camden Powell driving hard on that outside. Oh, he's going to make the move right here.
Camden Powell, one of the young guns, charging now
And
past
there it is.
McKenzie, and finally made that outside split work to his advantage as he goes around McKenzie. Boy, he worked it the entire race, Kurt.
Yeah.
Every lap he tried and finally made it work. Got a good drive, no mistakes, and like I mentioned a second ago, one of the young guns that we have a number of in this sport that are really setting the pace now in 2020. Camden Powell, he may be the leader of the young guns after his results yesterday.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that, as was Hayden Skellett last year, just dominant in so many ways, along with Matthew Ritchuk in the stand-up. As I'm watching out here, if you look at the body positioning of Kenny McKenzie now, as soon as Camden got by, he relaxed, started stretching his back out. He wasn't pulling the throttle hard. He's like, oh, thank goodness, let that, I'm going to wait for him to fall over, which Camden's done a few times already.
Well, he's got 55 coming up behind him now as well. Jay Finlinson, 1 lap to go, white flag out as Camden Powell stretches it out down that back straightaway for the final time here in Moto number 3 for ski 4-stroke stock. This will be it. Camden looking like he's going to make it a clean sweep in this class this weekend.
His first opportunity to try the inside split in this race.
Indeed it was. And he is going to ease that 44 big Cowie 4-stroke across the finish line to take the checkered flag and a well-earned win here in Moto number 3.
Boy, no question about that. And kudos to Kenny McKenzie, 3 times the age of the race leader, and probably the same thing over second and third. And, man, what a phenomenal job by McKenzie.
That was a nice race for the win.
Yeah, no doubt.
Man, we have had some good racing this weekend. It's been fun.
That stuff.
Good stuff here on the Pro Watercross National Tour.
Well, we're going to race 17, Novice Sports Stock, Junior Sports Stock combined. In Novice Sports Stock on the number 17 machine out of Carthage, Texas. Is he down there, Kenny Compton? Not seen him yet. Don't see many of those sports stock folks.
I don't see Kenny at the moment. We've got 69 out of Athens, Texas, John Fredericks.
On the 7-Eleven out of Sewanee, Georgia, Andrew Hancock.
And then in junior sports stock, 13 to 15. These guys had a good race in Moto number 2, 36, Jax Hayden out of Naples.
And on the 699, Keegan O'Connell.
And those two guys went at it pretty good. Jax got the whole shot in the lead. He went down. Keegan took over the lead. Then Jax worked his way past Keegan to take the win. But good racing there in junior sports stock, 13-15.
All right, look, doing the math here in this moto, third moto. Andrew Hancock. Yep, all Andrew Hancock has to do is finish second, and he will get the overall in the novice sports stock. In junior sports stock, Jax Hayden basically just needs to make one lap, mathematically. But it's not about the math. Oh.
All right, here we go. Wind him back up. Give it another shot here on the rubber band.
Keegan O'Connell is excited to get this race going.
.35 with the great jumpers at 36, Jax Hayden.
Keegan O'Connell on that HX. Get a little squirrely there. But it is an HX.
Yeah, Jax Hayden takes the lead here on the blaster. Jax, all of 14 years old, out of Naples, Florida, in that junior sports stock class.
I know what you're thinking, Rick Lake. You've got underwear older than some of these riders. Oh, good drive from the inside. Gotta love that. Jax Hayden out front, large and in charge.
And it's Andrew Hancock behind Jax. Andrew, the leader in novice sports stock. He's got a pair of wins already under his belt. And Jax likewise has a couple of wins in the junior sports stock class, 13-15.
Boy, Keegan O'Connell, youngest rider and most diminutive on the track right now, starting to wick that HX up.
Yeah, he had a good run last moto as he battled with Jax Hayden. Hayden, remember, went down, and Keegan got by, and then Jax worked his way back by him, but they had a nice race.
Yes, they did. And look at this. They changed position here. Inside and outside. Jax taking the outside, and that cost him. Yep, he's moved back into second. Andrew Hancock takes over the lead. Jax Hayden in second, and Keegan O'Connell in third, followed through by John Fredericks. Fredericks out of Athens, Texas, 50 years young.
So Fredericks gets, or Andrew Hancock actually gets by Jackson into the lead overall, but they are both leading their respective classes at the time.
Yeah, Hancock really throwing that machine around, going onto the inside split here. Let's see what happens with Jax Hayden using the outside.
Jax Hayden doing a great job of maintaining the pace with Andrew Hancock. Hancock, 24 years old, out of Shawnee, Georgia. Jax, just 14 years old, out of Naples. But he's doing a nice job on that blaster to hang with Hancock. Hancock in the lead also on a blaster as they make their way around the outside split here, or the inside split here in Panama City Beach. Beautiful afternoon, beautiful morning still. Gosh, it is still relatively early, and we have run through a number of motos already today. Halfway flag comes out from our starter, Kevin Scott, out on the water all weekend, doing a absolutely masterful job flagging this race. So now Andrew Hancock, 7-11, starts to really take off from the rest of the field. Jax Hayden continues to hold his lead over Keegan O'Connell in that junior sport stock 13 to 15-year-old class as they make their way down the back straightaway one more time. Oh, and Jax goes down. Very reminiscent of Moto 2. He is down at the end of the back straightaway. Keegan O'Connell goes back into the lead in that class. And here comes Jax. Keegan on the outside split. Jax on the inside split. So let's see what happens here as the laps start winding down here. Oh, almost a mirror replay of Moto number 2 as Jax goes down. Keegan gets by, and now Jax got his work cut out for him.
Deja vu all over again.
Meanwhile, Andrew Hancock all by himself down that back straightaway, by himself out in front. He's got this one well in hand, and barring a mechanical, should easily take the win in novice sports stock this weekend.
Should, but yet, and Rick, I know we've both seen this multiple times. You're way out in front. There's nobody even close. And you're checking out the girl on the, or the whatever, and you miss a buoy. And all of a sudden you're down, and the competition is right there.
Now you got to maintain your focus all the way through to the checkered flag. That is key in any form of racing. Oh, and he goes down as we speak, Andrew Hancock.
It's difficult to do. Without the challenge, your mind wanders.
He does go down, however, with a pair of wins. He's pretty locked in.
Whoa, Keegan went way wide there.
Keegan now.
Talk about opening the door.
Well, Keegan's got his hands full of Jax. This is exactly a replay of Moto number 2.
I was thinking he gave him an engraved invitation. Here, would you like to go inside of me here?
It's kind of amazing how this is playing out exactly like the previous Moto did with Jax.
Well, this is Keegan's opportunity for redemption.
Well, we'll see if he can hang on to that lead over Jax here, and they go to opposite splits. Keegan to the outside.
He's
Jax
looking good
on the inside, and Keegan working that C2HX around the outside split as Jax comes on the blaster on the inside split. But
White
it looks
flag.
like Jax is going to take over the lead once again.
Yet again.
And he'll get in front of Keegan. Man, just a mirror replay of Moto number 2. One lap to go, final lap for Andrew Hancock. Oh, and Jax spins out.
There you go.
Spins out, allows Keegan to go by one more time.
We're going to have one more battle at the split course, and this time it'll be for an overall position.
Old Keegan O'Connell, he is Mr. Consistency out there at 12 years of age. Just no mistakes, just working his way around the track. Jax has a little superior speed, but makes mistakes.
And Keegan, I think, looks like he's waking it up a little bit more in this section of the split course. That's where he lost it, and he'll stay ahead.
Andrew Hancock takes the win. Checkered flag out. Here comes Keegan, and he's going to hang on, and he's going to take the win in Moto number 3 over Jax Hayden.
Oh, man.
However, I think Jax Hayden is still going to take the overall for the weekend.
A couple of wins.
But fun for Keegan to get a win under his belt. At 12 years old, he's got his finger up in the air. He said, I won.
That.
He said, hey, I won.
Oh, you got a camera? I'll flash you number 1. Look at all these guys giving him a
Yeah.
high five. Gotta love it.
Like Dad down there giving the high five. Yeah, you got the win in that one, son. Feels pretty good, doesn't it?
Oh, beginner ski stock. We got him on the line. There's Tegan Hill. Whoa, look at that. Rest of those riders are shaking. They look to our left. There's Tegan Hill. I don't know. Do you want to start?
Tegan Hill on the line, 12 years old, out of Rutherford, North Carolina, and he is a force to be reckoned with here in beginner ski stock with a pair of wins in the first 2 motos.
Well, Charlie McGuinn out of Denver, North Carolina on the number 50. He's 30 years old. He's going to give him a run for his money.
He got seconds in both motos previous. 69 out of Panama City Beach, Eric Good. And rounding out the field will be 7-11, David Hancock from Johns Creek, Georgia. This is beginner ski stock, moto number 3.
Tegan Hill on the number 18, getting a whole shot on the inside. It's a good way to start a race, Rick Lake.
Well, Tegan has been absolutely the dominant force in beginner ski stock this weekend, as I mentioned earlier, with a pair of wins in Motos 1 and 2, and he takes up right here where he left off with the lead on the first lap. Going to the outside split is Tegan Hill, and he's going to be tough to beat because nobody's really matched, even come close to matching his speed. In fact, I think he lapped the entire field in Moto number 2, if I remember correctly.
You are correct, and was bearing down on his second lap. You know, you ever remember a rider? Let's see. Up in Northern California, we call him the human pit bull. This guy would lap the entire field twice, and he'd just do it out of pure terror. Michael Coe. Mike Coe.
Oh, yeah. I do remember him quite well.
4'10", made out of spring steel. The dude was almost never completely erect when he was riding. Always bent over the front of the ski. Oh, stop.
You got Maverick laughing on that one.
Please.
He can't even maintain the camera. I could see it shaking.
All right, so there was a little humor there, but really dominant performances.
And that was before,
Maverick, unfortunately,
and that was before the blue pill.
Well, there was a problem. It was legendary in Northern California. Fast on the course.
Tegan Hill out in front, number 18, beginner ski stock. As we will veer away from that story.
Yeah, Banana Boat going to come in and join in. He had to turn around and go the other direction. Even he's afraid of Tegan Hill.
That Banana Boat's out there, was out there all day yesterday. Looks like he's going to make a repeat performance here today.
Well, thank goodness we don't have the powered.
You didn't like that guy.
Well, I just didn't like the.
You didn't like him. You were not happy.
Well, it wasn't that I personally didn't like him. I was just afraid of one of our riders getting hurt by that thing coming down in the middle of a race. And that guy was skimming the water. I mean, obviously he's got skills, but I was praying for a rogue wave when he was doing it. I'll just say that.
You were not happy with his performance yesterday, I will say. You're annoyed.
That's the most accurate description of what I was.
Well, that's why I'm an announcer.
Handsome and annoyed.
I get it. Well,
Or avoid, I don't know. Not so much. Not your cup of tea. One time and you just cast me aside. Okay.
You know, one and done.
Tegan Hill. Whoa. As I say it, he starts to go off course with our course marshal right there. Tegan Hill dominant out here. He's just absolutely done a great job.
Yeah, amazing. 12 years old, man. And he is obviously the class of the class here in beginner ski stock. And as we speculated during Moto number 2 earlier this morning, you know, he's really probably due to move up in class, I would say.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't, if they don't move him up next by the next round.
But he does
race.
See. He does race another class as well. Trying to think of the junior class.
Junior,
he's in juniors too. So he'll be on the starting line next race.
Regardless.
Yeah. So this guy.
Uh-oh.
So he did move up actually from junior to beginner, and he may be due to move up again to novice.
Yeah.
Definitely capable, clearly, on that ski, that Yamaha Superjet he's aboard. All Yamaha Superjets in this one, beginner ski stock. I don't see Kawasaki's too much in this class any longer, you know.
Yeah.
Probably because they don't make them any longer, the 2 strokes. I don't know the reason, because those SXR 800s are
phenomenal boat.
Oh, I love riding those. I think
Ditto.
they're so fun to ride, easy to ride. But so are super jets, you know, and they still make super jets.
Yeah.
So that's probably explains part of it.
Yeah, and how many SXR hulls are left that only have a twin left in them?
That's true. There's probably not
Really?
a lot of stock ones around.
No, people are taking those things and putting triples in. And
Very true.
I want to see a 4-stroke in one of those. Maybe one of the light Yamahas like Underhill. Brad Underhill has in his Pro Force.
That would be interesting
It would.
because these newer hulls are so much bigger. But a smaller 4-stroke engine would be interesting in like an SXR 800. That might be fun.
You know,
I think you're onto something, Kurt.
Well, whoa, slid out and stays on the right side of that merged buoy. Just for the uninitiated, if that rider was to cross over an imaginary line between those two white buoys that extends across the finish line, he'd be down the lap.
So that triple Yamaha 4-stroke motor, I think it's about 1,000 cc's roughly.
Yeah, that's roughly.
White flag, Tegan Hill take the white flag for the final time here today. But that would be interesting. I don't know if it physically fits, but if it did, that would be kind of cool in an SXR 800 hull.
It'd be exciting. Do you remember there's an event they hold in Arizona once a year, and a lot of people show up. There was a boat, I don't know how many years ago, that definitely at least 20, or no, more than that. There was a Honda 6-cylinder automotive engine. Do you remember that?
I do.
That was put into a hull, and we all looked at it that one.
It was on display.
Yeah, one, will it float?
Yeah, forget about it.
And two, what's the top speed going to be?
Oh, man. Yeah, no, that was interesting. Yeah, that drew a lot of attention, but that's about as far as that went.
Right. How about
speculation?
Jet-powered one?
Speculation, but yeah, never. I was disappointed to see Honda leave the market.
And the
flag
applause
comes out for Tegan Hill.
Yeah, the applause is there. Tegan Hill, wire-to-wire winner. Tegan just cruised in like, oh, that was a good one. Think I'll go back and race the next class.
You know,
yeah, why not?
Speaking of Honda, I was really disappointed to see Honda leave the PWC market. We were so excited when they got into it.
Yeah, me too. They had a good product too.
And their boats were great. I actually raced one time when I was at Personal Watercraft Illustrated. Myself and Josh Burns, the editor, raced one in the Mark Hahn 300. And
I bet you enjoyed that more than when you raced the HX.
The HX was not so much fun.
No.
Yeah, no way. But the Honda was phenomenal. You rode that 300 race with it pinned the entire time, never missed a beat, and kept on running. We used it for some other things. I mean, it was a really nicely made, easy to ride watercraft, and shame they quit producing watercraft, period. I would have loved to see Honda stay in the market, but not to be.
Speaking of not to be, Richard Ignacio Maverick lost his iPhone camera down there, and if anybody sees it, come up on the beach, please bring it up here to the Tower of Power. It probably won't work anymore, but Maverick's kind of a genius at that stuff. He might be able to, do some CPR and get that thing back to life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Besides that, we'd love to have it for the next round for you guys to see, the band.
Well, let's see if we can't find that thing. It's got to be out there somewhere. We know it is, because I haven't seen a shark today. So,
oh, I did. Shark energy drinks right here in the cooler.
We got those, and we got Sharkies behind us.
There you go.
But we know there was no sharks out here to take that iPhone and swim away with it, because they do that,
Yes, they do.
They're drawn to iPhones.
As are groupers.
Here we go, junior ski stock. We got
Deja vu.
These are the real young guns in the sport.
And having said that,
Tegan Hill, Gary Holbein,
he's
Kate
like
Baldwin.
middle of the pack now. Who's out front, Rick? Tegan Hill, Gary Holbein right behind him.
Yeah, Tegan never slowed down from the last race. He just kept on going here. He's out in front, and he's got the course figured out by now.
Yeah. Muscle memory, you kidding me? He's doing it with his eyes closed.
Yeah, Tegan's got this thing. He gets stopped for a beer. The only problem.
Whoa. Root beer.
The only problem is he's 12.
Yeah.
So 55 is Finlinson, Robbie Finlinson in second.
Yeah, not all 12-year-olds grew up in Vegas and could have a beer at 12.
That's true.
They just wish they could.
They're not cruising around the casinos with a drink and a cigarette, you know.
Oh, that's
enjoying themselves in the
right,
casino,
right.
You know, in the sports book, on the horses.
With a cigar.
12 years old, you know.
Oh, man. So, honestly, we're kidding a lot because there are few riders out here on the track. But look at the skill of these younger riders, really. I mean, they're attacking the course. Tegan, obviously, the head of the class right here, right now. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, 55, yeah. Robbie Finlinson on his rear end. And then that is Gary Holbein in third place, and he's fast. You know, and to think that before we had junior classes, it was thought that these kids are too young to ride these skis.
Yeah, how ludicrous was that?
Oh my God, and that really shows you that a mindset can be wrong, you know, because it was just taken as the gospel. Yeah, they're too young. Well, these skis are too big. There's not skis made for juniors like mini cycles. We always compared this to motocross, and well, motocross has mini bikes. We don't have mini skis, you know, and so kids can't ride them. Well, BS.
And Rick, you know, behind the scenes, we were negotiating. The promoters were negotiating with the parents, really talking about, okay, what about speed control? Can we put a rev limiter on it so they can only go so fast? Remember, you could only have a completely stock engine, not even using the 5-degree advanced plate, which, you know, gets you off the line a little earlier. Just nothing. And really, when it came down to it, all they needed was a little faith.
Yeah, and time on the water. I mean, they already had that because at their private riding areas, they were riding already. And, you know, and the funny thing going back, really back, is there actually was a ski produced for a short time that was pretty ideally suited for young, small kids. Kawasaki did come out with a 300.
That 300.
Very, very short-lived. It really was not successful, but it was produced for a moment.
Boy, look at that. Robbie Finlinson starting to reel in Tegan Hill. Now, remember, Tegan's going back-to-back here. Even a young guy will get a little tired,
Oh, yeah, no, those guys are going at it out there, no doubt about it. I mean, they are racing. Those guys are really close. Tegan Hill knows Robbie's right there. Robbie wants to get by Tegan desperately, and that is racing taking place here in junior ski stock, 10 to 12-year-old. Well, Robbie's 13, Tegan's 12, so they're technically in different classes. But
8%
let's
older.
not kid ourselves. They're racing each other.
Oh, yeah. Hey, if you've got two personal watercraft on an ocean, there's a race going on.
It doesn't matter how old anybody is. You're racing.
Boy, Tegan, really beautiful job coming off the inside. He cuts tight under the buoy, dips his shoulder, which, you know, is a great method, but there's a little bit of risk in that. Because that buoy slips over, especially his size, that's going to knock him sideways.
Yeah, it's funny. We were speaking about slalom a little bit ago. You were talking about, you know, the technique for slalom, and I was thinking I have a picture that when we closed down IGSBA at the end of 2003, I took a few pictures from the stuff that we had.
On the walls.
Yeah, and one of them I have is one of Jeff Jacobs doing slalom, and he didn't have a helmet on back then, and he's laying his head against the buoy. He's actually on the buoy. Everything's completely leaned over, and he's laying against the buoy, and it's a beautiful shot. I forget who took the picture. I knew all the photographers back then very well, and I'm not sure if it was Andy Anderson or Ralph Campos.
Right,
both of them rest in peace. But don't remember exactly who it was. But it's a beautiful shot of just the ultimate technique for slalom riding, as tight as you could humanly get to a buoy.
Do you still own that?
I do. I have it.
Would you send me a digital copy of it?
Yeah, I will.
Dude, I really would love. Seriously, would love to have that.
I'll post
I'd love to have a really good copy of it.
Yeah, I've got a nice picture of it. It's you know, it's at home, and I look at it every now and then and just shake my head and think, wow, that is talent.
Yeah. And I see by the World Wide Web that he's down at Body Beach these days, back on a ski.
Yeah, I've seen some video of Jeff riding, and it's good to see him out there always. Great guy. You know, I had the fortune to announce, you know, all those races back then, all those world finals, and he, you know, just saw. In fact, I raced against him my very first race, and his first race in '84.
Really?
Novice 550 stock. Yeah.
How'd that work out?
Not so good for me.
I was just gonna
That's
say.
why I'm up here with you, and he's got 10 world championships.
Oh man!
But yeah,
great
it was
family too.
So I've seen him throughout the whole career, and yeah, the guy's just an amazing talent. Always enjoyed working with him, interviewing him, and most of all announcing the races. You know, back in those days, and he was something else to watch on those 550s. Oh, checkered flag going to come out, and it's going to be number 18, Tegan Hill, back-to-back motos. Very little rest in between. 12 years old. Man, what a weekend for Tegan Hill. Likewise, Robbie Finlinson. Great riding as usual. These young kids are just charging. And the young guns in Pro Watercross are really just, they're taking over the sport. And it's a really, really fun transition to be able to witness.
100%, Rick. I mean, seriously, it is so much fun, and no more of the wishy-wash of, yeah, can they make it? Will they be good enough? Are there going to be problems? Are they going to get hurt? And, you know, which is obviously the number one concern in that argument.
Yeah.
And, boy, the kids have really pulled through, and bless their parents for sticking with it, because really it's the parents that pushed and said, look, my son, my daughter can do it. Don't you hold them back. I'll be the one to hold them back. And son of a gun, Pro Watercross opened it up, said, let's try it. And wow, what a transition.
Yeah, the kids are all right.
Yeah, the kids are all right. Well, who we got down here?
On the starting line, IROC GP, Dominic Perez, 257. IROC Stock, 17, Kenny Compton, 55, Jay Finlinson, 110, Tori Snyder.
Tori
We've got John Block in IROC Stock. We've got John Corderitz in Runabout Box Stock. And we've got Jim Devlin in Runabout 800 Super Stock. Let's check them out,
what
Kurt.
you brung. And I'll tell you what, John Block had a good drive on from the outside. He's trying to sweep right now.
110, Tori Snyder takes that inside position in the lead. That's the Sea-Doo Spark on the outside.
Is that Kenny? No, that's Dominic Perez.
257, Perez on the gas on that Spark.
Boy, look at that. 4 riders through there almost at the same time, and it's like a washing machine out there, Rick.
Yeah, that Yamaha hull has, I think, a little bit of an advantage over the Sea-Doo. It's a little bigger. It's a little more planted. I think, and a little bit more stable without giving up the agility and the turning ability.
And I haven't measured it, but it looks a little longer.
It is, yeah.
And if you've got the water run along a long hull, it's got a moment to straighten out before it gets to the pump. I know it sounds unusual.
Yep.
I'm sure there's an aquatic term for it, or a hydrodynamic term for it, but it makes a difference in a rough water, that longer hull.
A little better hookup.
Remember a guy named Minoru Kanamori who worked for Kawasaki?
Minoru
who came
Kawasaki,
out,
you might as well
Well,
call
he used
him.
to. We used to kid her with that, but
that's a good
came out
name.
with that triple with the 3-seater
yes.
at the Solus Manufacturers Cup at Rotary Beach in Lake Havasu City, Arizona, and we were all laughing until he started.
Yeah.
And he was gone.
Well,
I mean,
by the same token, in slalom at the World Finals years ago, I forget who it was.
Corey Rarick.
On that big Sea-Doo.
Oh, yeah, Corey Rarick.
You know, and
Blackfoot Racing out of Canada.
And he just dominated.
Yes, he did. It was crazy. I mean, literally, the world shifted when that happened.
That's pretty
Seriously,
bizarre.
people were screaming running down the beach at the numbers that he pulled, because he annihilated everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, remember it well.
And
Sunday
we were
morning.
laughing. Everybody was
Yeah.
laughing at him before that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look, he's got that big black sea-doo thing.
Yep. Oh, and is it Torrey goes down out there?
Oh.
Going onto the back straightaway. I believe that's Snyder sitting dead in the water. He may have lost his lanyard. I'm not sure what happened. But, yeah, he stopped abruptly. And Perez goes into the overall lead, although they are in the same class, actually.
Yeah.
So Dominic Perez, let's check that as they come around. I'll make sure I'm not right. On the inside, it is 55 takes over the lead. Jay Finlinson, again, Jay's had a good weekend. He's got a second in Moto 1, a first in Moto 2, and now he's leading here in Moto number 3. So Jay Finlinson in the driver's seat right now for the overall here in IROC stock.
Boy, Torrey Snyder was battling with John Block there, and John Block, I'm telling you, to hold the throttle open against the young man that is energized because he's back, off the lead. I give it to John Block, and here comes Torrey. He's Dominic. Look over to your right, buddy. You got some company.
Meanwhile, Jay Finlinson out in front, coming onto the front straightaway.
Yep.
Number 55, on that familiar 55. That boat gets a workout on race weekends.
Yeah, you bring 16 riders in one boat.
Yeah, I tell you what, if you want a testament to the reliability of these Yamaha EXs, look no further than boat number 55, because that boat has a lot of laps. Even Dad raced that last year as well.
Right, and boy, I'll tell you, Derek Powell and that crew from Indiana.
That's it. Derek Powell reminded me it's the Syracuse Mafia out of Indiana, man. These guys are a team. They travel all over. It's the Powells, and of course Derek and his son Camden, and who really opened eyes yesterday. The Finlinsons, Zeke Heim, man, they've got a crew, and they have made a name for themselves. And we affectionately call them the Syracuse Mafia, or the Indiana Mafia, either one. But man, they are getting it done. But that Yamaha EX has got more laps on it than I think probably just about any boat out here. Why you're just not on it? The only person missing is you, Dad. Indiana corn.
Yeah, making that ethanol.
You got the ethanol rolling, huh?
Oh yeah.
That Yamaha likes that. That Yamaha likes that, huh?
Really?
Ignite Fuels.
Yeah.
Ignite.
And it's ethanol based?
That's an ethanol fuel, huh?
Wow.
White flag out for our race leader.
And no problems with the seals?
Do you have to rebuild that boat between races? Don't. Is it really? You haven't torn it apart?
Re-ringed it?
Huh? You just keep riding it? Is that right? That thing has got an amazing amount of laps on it.
All right, and Jay Finlinson, speaking of the Indiana Mafia, with the win.
We're talking to his dad as he crosses the finish line.
Here comes Perez in second, Torrey Snyder in third.
Yeah, we're talking to his dad down there, and Derek Powell, and they're telling us that boat just keeps running. I mentioned the reliability on that Yamaha EX, and I gotta say, if you want a watercraft to ride nonstop, look at that 55 Yamaha.
Right?
That boat, that model, has got an amazing amount of race laps under it. That's not recreational laps. That's race laps.
That's reliability.
Yeah. That's a strongly built boat, and kudos to Yamaha. That's their entry level watercraft, and man, that says a lot.
Well, it says Yamaha's committed to putting out a high performance product for the masses.
And we're not getting paid one dime to say this. Trust me.
Well,
when I tell you,
it's just logic and look out there.
This is just fair, unbiased announcing of what we've seen over the last few years. And you know, if you're in the market for an economy-priced watercraft, that Yamaha EX is tough to beat.
Yeah, seriously, that's one I would really consider having in my stable.
I like them. I like the naturally aspirated boats because you can run, you know, 87 octane gas. They go a long ways. You can't always get premium fuel on the river and in water spots.
Absolutely.
And you know, it's less expensive, and they're just so reliable. You know,
they sound better.
And if you're a recreational rider, they are so much fun to ride without any drama. The supercharged boats are maximum fun. I've spent a lot of time on all of them, and they are addicting, and that speed is addicting, and that supercharger whine is addicting, and they are fun. But I'll tell you what, it comes at a price. And if you like to ride long distances, where the point I'm at in my life, when I get time to get on the water, I like to ride all day, a long ways, and I don't want to worry about mechanicals, and I don't want to worry about fuel.
And you'd like to own a home someday, so. If you got a mortgage, you probably don't want one of those.
They're good and they are fun, but you pay for that horsepower.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. That's just physics.
Well, when Troy told me yesterday, the day before, says, yeah, I change the clutch in my boat every race weekend.
Yeah, that's
man, you're talking about some labor.
Yep. But these naturally aspirated boats, the Yamaha EX, the Yamaha HOs, those 1800 cc HOs, the Kawasaki 1500 naturally aspirated motors, the Sea-Doo naturally aspirated motors in their boats, they're all phenomenal. They go forever, and they don't burn the fuel like the supercharged boats do.
Not even close.
And you don't have to run premium. And if you tweak the supercharged boats to get even more out of them with an ECU, then you're talking about not just 91, but we don't get 93 octane where I live. I know you don't. In California, we're locked down to 91. Out here they have 93, but
and even that's questionable. They say that,
but you can't. But my experience, as we bring somebody in, my experience on the river, like where I ride Colorado River or go to Catalina Island, those kind of rides, you can't, in the West Coast, you can't always rely on getting 91 octane. So a boat that runs 87 and runs all day is a lot of fun. That's my 2 cents anyway, on my experience with all these things.
Well, everything you said was accurate, Rick, and truly, the fun of a supercharged or turbocharged boat, the acceleration is fantastic.
Oh man!
But man, you balance that out with economical fuel, reliability, and the ability to get fuel almost anywhere. Heck, these guys make them run on corn.
You know what? I just tell people, look, I love those supercharged boats. I mean, I've had so much fun on all of them. They are addictive. But I'll take the naturally aspirated boat, and you can have the supercharged boat, and I'll meet you at the dock for a hamburger. You know, 5 minutes later, you can order for me.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'll have to pay for it because you won't have the funds.
That's right. I'll pay because I'll have the money because you won't. You're going to be spending it on clutches.
Welcome back to the season opener of the Hidden Trails Yamaha Pro Watercross Tour from Panama City Beach, Florida. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ian Howard. Well, GP Ski is set to take on the waters next. Before we get underway, let's get this update from Don Dawson.
We got a brand new format for the 2015 Hidden Trails Pro Watercross Tour for the ski division. So Ski GP, it's going to be going into heats, and then straight from the heat racing and qualifying, they're going to be going to one main event. Let's see what happens with this brand new format brought to you by the Pro Watercross Tour and Hidden Trails, our new title sponsor.
And qualification heat number 1 would start as planned for two-time former ski world champion Dustin Matsouras, as he would have to go to a backup ski.
It's the duckbill, which is just a part of the little drainage system on the back of the ski. It stops water from coming into the ski but lets it out when you're riding. So when I pulled up onto the start line, the boat just literally started sinking.
And Dustin Matsouras, having to go to his backup ski, would get to the line just in time for the start of qualification heat number 1, part of this 10-ski field. Matsouras, a two-time former ski world champion, will have to start to the far outside and make up a lot of ground on the leaders if he hoped to qualify with a good lane choice for the all-important winner-take-all final for GP Ski held later on. And how about that? Jimmy Wilson, the firefighter from Sanford, North Carolina, would record the whole shot as he would work to the outside split. Working to the inside split would also be a two-time former ski world champion. And Chris McCluggage from Lake Havasu City, Arizona, would be Wilson up front, and he would credit his team behind him for helping him record the whole shot.
The whole shot on the practice boat, which is always a good thing to know that you got two solid guns in the sitting on the beach ready to go.
But the lead would be short-lived for Jimmy Wilson, as Chris McCluggage would get past them, and McCluggage would credit his experience racing in the Gulf waters for helping him get past the leader.
I think in the surf here, it's not really such a big deal, like where you start the race. Like always, it's where you finish.
Moving ahead to lap number 4, and a battle would ensue for the second spot on the race course, as Dustin Matsouras, right of your screen, would get past Jimmy Wilson.
I was able to get up to second at one point, but then to be honest with you, I was borrowing a boat and I didn't want to destroy somebody else's skis.
Moving ahead 2 laps to lap number 6, and the battle would continue between the two riders, as Matsouras this time would be overtaken by Jimmy Wilson, who would reclaim second place. And with the checkered flag out, Chris Big Mac McCluggage, as he's affectionately known, originally from Naples, Florida, now from Lake Havasu City, Arizona, would take home the qualification heat victory. Heat number 2 for GP Ski. 10 more skis out there, as the water conditions would look to become a little bit rougher. And the question would be, who would record the whole shot? And it would be the young hotshot Cody Copenhaver from Surprise, Arizona.
I whole shotted, had a good lead, and then the ski had some mechanical problems. So
unfortunately, the lead would be short-lived for Copenhaver, as he would have mechanical issues. And then Gary Windrex, who would assume the lead, would be overtaken by Rob Flores.
When I pulled up behind Windrex and he had the lead after Copenhaver broke, I knew it was just a matter of time until he got tired.
So Flores with the come from behind qualification heat victory. He also records the fastest heat time. And let's visit with Dawn Dawson once again.
Well, I talked about this new format, and you can get in a couple of ways. So you could win your first heat race, which was Chris McCluggage. You could win the second heat race. That was Rob Flores, who, by the way, had the fastest heat race. Or you can make it in through the LCQ, and that's what this young gun did. Cody Copenhaver had a breakdown in the first one, so he had to do it the hard way, but you could still get in. Now the excitement's going to be at the main event.
And thanks, Don, for that update. Rob Flores on the pole after recording the fastest time in his qualification heat. Chris McCluggage right behind him in lane number 2, as we'd await the start, and all the skiers would go down the front straightaway here on the Gulf of Mexico. 20 riders in all, and a very big lineup. And the winner would take all here in round number 1 from Panama City Beach, Florida. The question would be, who would record the whole shot? And you see the green nose on that ski up front. It would be none other than Chris McCluggage, a two-time former ski world champion, and he would show the rest of the field how to get around the first lap the quickest. So it'd be Mac on top early on. Jimmy Wilson would run second, Dustin Matsouras then third.
The Gulf, you either have a lot of wind or some kind of disturbance in the ocean that makes waves, and I think that's what really helped me be able to ride in this type of conditions. It was my father pushing me when I was younger to go out and ride.
Lap number 2, as you heard from Chris McCluggage, talking about all the experience he has competing here on the Gulf of Mexico, and the battle for 5th place would ensue, and it would be a great battle. Rob Flores just ahead of the youngster Cody Copenhaver, almost a generation in terms of age difference. Flores racing as a professional since 1988. Meanwhile, Copenhaver, in just his 3rd season pro GP ski ranks, would overtake Flores. So Copenhaver into that 5th spot. The veteran Rob Flores then would have to settle into 6th. And on the final lap, crossing the finish line first, going wire to wire, and the winner-take-all final moto for GP Ski would be Chris McCluggage, as he would record the win. It would be McCluggage, Wilson, Matsouras, Brock Austin, and Cody Copenhaver rounding out your top 5.
We dominated from start to finish. Was a little late off the line, but geez, I think I pulled the field
All
by
right,
5
we
miles an
are
hour
almost
after
set to
the
go
boat
back
hooked
to
up,
racing.
and that
Unfortunately,
thing was
had a
gone. The first lap,
rider
we pulled probably 10-second lead and just kept extending it.
So that'll do it from Panama City Beach, Florida. The next stop will be from right up the road in Pensacola, Florida. So on behalf of our entire crew, I'm Ian Howard saying so long, and we'll see you next time right back here on the water.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this too. It looks like the Hurricane's coming back out on the number 100 Yamaha out of Gilbert, Arizona. It's Revan Harris.
296 out of Port Charlotte, Florida, Hayden Skellett.
And out of Indian Trail, North Carolina, on that number 300 Hurricane, Jimmy Wilson. I was just noticing that I said Hurricane. It's Huracan.
Huracan. Based on a hurricane.
Yes.
Polaris Hurricane. So it's a Huracan aftermarket hull that they've developed, and unfortunately had a motor problem in moto number 2 and went from first to last with about 2 turns to go.
Yeah, and they've got it. Sounds good. It's running again. Just want to let everybody who's watching the live stream, we had a rider with an injury. He's being attended to. Looks like it's a lower leg injury, and of course we wish the best for him. We're going to go back to racing. This is Sport GP Race 22, and of course we're here in Panama City Beach, Florida, in front of Sharky's Beachfront Restaurant, having a great time. I'm Kurt Nolenberg. This is Rick Lake, and you're watching the only watercross races in 2020. We are the first to be out there, and you'll see us again in 2 weeks in Lake Hartwell, Georgia. Rick Lake?
Indeed. It looks like they're struggling with that Huracan on the line. Not going to go, not going to make it.
Too bad. That would have been fun.
So there's 4 boats, though, so what is Jimmy Wilson on?
Hayden Skellett's boat, a number 2 machine. He's last right now, but that's probably just wants to keep it clean for Hayden. Let's see what he can do when they go to the splits. He's going to the outside. But I'll tell you what, he's going to have a road to hoe there.
296, Hayden Skellett just on the gas on the inside split into the lead down the front straightaway. 100, Revan Harris behind him, then Jimmy Wilson, and then number 2.
Yeah, Wyatt Hayes in front of Jimmy Wilson.
Wyatt Hayes, and then Jimmy Wilson.
Jimmy spins it and flips it.
First time on a blaster, maybe. Who knows? Went off that Huracan R, which is a completely different boat.
You know, I love seeing Jimmy Wilson in the different hull style because we know he's a phenomenal stand-up rider. But to switch hulls, you know, that takes some grit to go ahead and do it.
Oh, man, but right now, Hayden Skellett on fire. Out in front, Revan Harris behind him, and then Wyatt Hayes in third. The 2 young guns out there going at it. Hayden Skellett, Revan Harris, and man, they can ride these blasters amazingly well. They are on the gas here, Sport GP, and you watch them lay those blasters over in the corner. Both those kids are just ripping out there. You know, it's funny, Revan Harris is 15, Hayden Skellett 15, both the same age, and of course Wyatt Hayes, the ripe old age of 19 out there. So Jimmy Wilson, 31, and unfortunately that Huracan R was not able to make the starting line here for moto number 3 after suffering a mechanical in moto number 2.
Well, Jimmy's getting up front on Hayden's boat, and I think he's learning the intricacies of this thing. You see him moving more forward to set the nose on that thing. You know, he spun.
He's learning on the go right now as we watch him on the racetrack. And then you look and see the masters out here in front on the masters of the blasters.
I love that.
Hayden Skellett and Revan
Harris is on fire behind him.
And these guys, and you had a couple of the other kids in, Farthing, and they are the masters on the blasters. And Sammy Niemi these days, man. They just rip on these blasters.
Yeah, well, Revan Harris, he is dipping his shoulder in the corners. That hull, whatever he's on.
They lay these boats over all the way on their side, on the rail to rail racing. And it is amazing to watch because they ride them as hard as you can possibly ride these watercraft.
Yeah.
They get maximum performance out of them. And the phenomenal thing when we talk about the young guns is these two, in this case, are both 15. Well, they are going to get faster.
Yeah.
They're not 30. When you're 30, you're about as fast as you're going to get, more or less, and but when you're in your teens, you've got a long ways to go, and these kids are going to continue to get faster and faster on these blasters, on the stand-ups. I mean, this sport is in good hands, and it's nice to see some of the young guns from the West come out and race. Revan Harris out of Arizona, he's supported by Commander, Works H2O, and Jet Trim, so he's able to come out and race Pro Watercross. I'd like to see some of the other kids in the West be able to compete, too, out here.
Oh, Jake Pearson and
Talon Burns. Or, I'm sorry. Chambers. Art Chambers. Brenda Burns' son.
Art Burns and Brenda Chambers.
Exactly. Their son. He's another young gun. But on the Pro Watercross Tour here, we have a stable that are really starting to dominate. And this is phenomenal to watch take place, this transition in the industry, in racing, because they are setting the pace.
Well, I'll tell you what. Look at it. Last year at the King's Cup, Devin Farthing goes over there, and the best in the world, the best in the planet are there, and he and his dad are sharing a hole shot inside and outside. It just goes to show you a young rider that gets time on the water, obviously good equipment, but more than that, it's repetition. Practice, 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 get out there and ride.
And they have no
really
limits.
good.
There's no limits on what these young riders can do. And, Dustin Matsuris, his brother Tyron Matsuris, still the standard, along with Clipper and some others that we have. Clipper didn't make it this week and missed him out here, definitely in pro ski.
No question.
But Matsuris brothers still the standard, but they are being pushed heavily. Camden Powell showed that yesterday. Matthew Richuk last year really showed it by taking a win at Lake Hartwell in that Pro-Am Ski GP class. So these young guys are pushing the standard bearers in pro watercross racing. It is fun to watch.
Yes, it is.
Much like in pro motocross, the young kids are coming up every year, and the Chad Reeds are at the end of their run. Ryan Dungey retired, and you've got Eli now dominating, and a couple others, but the young kids coming up behind them are pushing them, and it never ends.
And the funny thing is, Rick, you and I look at Eli Tomac and Chad Reed as they were coming in as teenagers back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, Eli's still in his prime. Chad at the end of his run, obviously. This will probably be his last season in Supercross and motocross. And then Eli, the dominant force this year, Cooper Webb and a couple of the others, Jason Anderson. But they're young still. As the white flag is out, 1 lap to go. But the same thing now in pro watercross. We've got these young riders that are supremely talented and supported as the checkered flag comes out.
For Hayden Skellett.
And it's going to be Hayden Skellett taking the win. What a great ride this time in Moto number 3. Hayden flew out of the starting gate. He was not going to be denied, and he took the win.
Yeah, there was nobody even close.
Revan Harris, number 100, comes in second place. And Wyatt Hayes is going to take third, followed by Jimmy Wilson.
And you could kind of feel it all weekend. Hayden's been riding really well.
Yeah.
It's just like you knew he was going to have a breakout at one time, and there it is.
Well, he's definitely capable of dominating any race he's in. There's no doubt about it, Kurt.
All right, and we're going to Junior Spark Stock. We're going to hold on just a little bit and give us an opportunity to go through the lineup. On the number 17, Sea-Doo Spark out of Carthage, Texas, Kenny Compton.
Number 53 out of Fairhope, Alabama, Gary Holbein Jr.
On the double five, the Indiana Mafia, Robbie Finlinson on that same double nickel.
Back out again, number 110 on the Kawasaki out of, it's not a Kawasaki, that's a Yamaha out of Denver, North Carolina, Caden Baldwin.
Oh, apparently if you ride the 110, you get Cliff Roy as an accessory.
Huh. Well, he's got it on his shirt, so I guess he's attached.
He's committed
to that watercraft. I think, and Cliff raced it last year, I think a time or two as well.
One time he won his, no, he didn't win a race, and he said, "That's it, I quit."
He retired.
He retired, right?
One and done.
Gotta love it.
One and done, retired. That's the way to do it. Mic drop.
Oh, man.
He would take the win and walk away, man.
He was laughing in the pits. These guys keep pushing me to race. He says, "Hey, I did the best I could." There you go.
He takes the win. He says, "You guys, come on. Try to keep up with me."
Next. Well, that was fun. Let's try pool.
He's like, "See how easy it is to win out here? I don't see what you guys are having problems with."
He started to bowl now. Looking for a challenge.
So it's Robbie Finlinson, that 55, man, that boat. They must have multiple 55s. I don't know if that can't be.
No, it's the same boat. They don't even shut it off. Look.
They just stop into a NASCAR-type pit stop, refuel it, and it's back out there on the race course.
Stop, rock, and go.
So you got some jet trim mats on that thing. It looks good.
Yeah.
Looks really good. They got a whole jet trim seat and mat kit on that EX. That looks nice.
Caden Baldwin looks like he got to drive. He's got to keep it pegged though, because Finlinson on the inside. There goes Caden Baldwin. If he sweeps it, he could get the whole shot, and he does. Caden Baldwin out front.
Boy, he puts that 110 right into the lead.
And there goes Finlinson to the outside.
Well, Caden's definitely got power to weight ratio. Oh, and he's got to figure out the right buoys here. There you go. Almost went the wrong way, and and somebody down on the outside.
Whoa,
is that Finlinson?
Yeah.
Looks like he lost the lanyard.
Yeah, and look at Caden Baldwin, man. He came back and attacked that inside split course.
Robbie Finlinson with a pair of wins in the first two motos. Loses the lanyard, looks like, on that outside split heading onto the front straightaway, and reconnects and gets the fire lit. He's back underway behind, but he's got a pair of wins under his belt, so he may have got a little complacent there.
All right. You know what I'm liking out here is Kenny Compton in second position on the Sea-Doo Spark. Now he's got a tough road to hoe out there, but Kenny looking strong out there on the outside. Here comes Caden Baldwin, and they get on the front straightaway at the same time. Caden, of course, much further up, but Kenny Compton has Caden Baldwin in his sights, and he is attacking this course. Here comes Finlinson. And Gary Holbein Jr., just watching the carnage in front of him, waiting for another one to drop.
Yeah, uncharacteristic mistake that time by Robbie Finlinson, losing that lanyard. It can happen in a blink of an eye.
Yeah.
But those guys are really steady. You very, very rarely see a mistake by that Syracuse Mafia.
And you can't really call it a mistake when you lose a lanyard. All right, last call for T-shirts. If you would like your Pro Watercross official merchandise, this is your last opportunity to get it this year here in Panama City Beach. AJ Handler down there autographing almost anything that doesn't move. Go on, and I saw a bunch of people getting shirts earlier. He's back to it right now. But he says we got about 10 more minutes. If you'd like to get the official merchandise in the 2020 Pro Watercross National Tour, go over and see AJ Handler behind us at the Pro Watercross official merchandise booth. Grab it now while you can.
110, Caden Baldwin comes by in the lead, taking the halfway sign from our flagger, Kevin Scott. Kenny Compton in second. Robbie Finlinson now working his way up behind Kenny Compton.
Kenny trying to keep that HX in the water. He keeps hitting that rough pump wash, and it's bouncing that Sea-Doo up and out.
One more time. Caden Baldwin in the lead. Kenny Compton makes that turn from the inside split, and now he's got Robbie Finlinson all over him, trying to get by into the second position. Finlinson on that familiar 55 Yamaha EX out there.
Hey, one more public service announcement, please. If you're walking down the beach, especially around that starting line, keep your eyes in the water for our iPhone camera. What color is it, Rick? Silver. Oh, that'll be hard to see. Right, I know it's a 6. Like I said, yeah. Yeah, you really don't want it.
You mean it's
not
an
even
11?
A 6S. It's
I don't
not
want
even
any,
a 6S.
I don't even want anything to do. If it's not an 11, I'm not interested.
Oh, is it in one of those cases? Oh, it just lost the float. Oh, it's inside a waterproof case, too. Caden Baldwin is just gone.
Well, he checked out, didn't he?
I mean, Kenny Compton's doing his best, but that Spark is not keeping up with that Yamaha EX.
At 110, Caden Baldwin really, Caden doing a nice job out there. One more time, making the turn, taking the white flag is Caden Baldwin. 1 lap to go here in junior Spark Stock, 13 to 15.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, and here comes Finlinson on the outside. Kenny going to try to hang on to that second position. Finlinson makes the move from the outside to the inside. Kenny hanging on.
Not giving up. Kenny Compton holding that throttle, says, hey, if you're going to take it, you're going to have to take it. Well, he did. Robbie reached over and just ripped it out of Kenny's hands, unfortunately.
Yeah, he earned it. He earned it.
Yeah, oh, no question about it. Robbie earned it.
Good riding by Robbie. Set him up really nicely there. Went around the outside, which set him up for that inside. And then one more, and he had him as Caden Baldwin comes by. Boat number 110. He is going to take the checkered flag and the win with a fist pump. He is stoked.
Good job getting out of the line of fire there. Pull out of the front straightaway. Look at him pounding on that 110 boat. Yeah. Fist raised in the air.
Caden Baldwin, 12 years old and fired up.
I'll tell you what, man. That kid, you said it all. Yeah, we've just seen these guys after 6-8 months now. And he grew about another 6-8 inches.
Yeah, he did.
Over the winter.
Kind of funny when you don't see him for that late.
Yeah, it is. It's shocking, really.
Oh, amateur ski GP on the line, and looks like Ryder Wildeboer got that Pro Force repaired. I saw him come by, and that was in this race, right? He suffered the mechanical in moto number 2, ended up with a 4th after taking a 3rd in moto 1. So let's see if he makes it to the line. I don't see him right now, but on the line we've got number 44, the Syracuse Mafia rider Zeke Kime on the line,
and the number 100 out of Gilbert, Arizona, Revan Harris.
295 out of Port Charlotte, Florida is Taylor Skellett.
And we're looking for Ryder Wildeboer, and there he comes in.
Here he comes, Ryder out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. He's on that Pro Watercraft Racing Pro Force.
PB. Oh. You have a machine like that when I was 15 years old.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Kidding me?
That's good stuff. On 100, Revan Harris down there with that Commander. Taylor Skellett on a Commander, and then on the big Kawasaki is Zeke Heim, and then Ryder Wilderbauer on the outside on that Pro Force.
Boy, Robert Dixon giving a huge hold to Ryder. Ryder went and then dropped the throttle for a second, and I thought he was going to have the slingshot whole shot from heck. Look at him sweeping on the outside.
On that inside with the strong start, 100, Revan Harris takes the early lead here, and he's going to come onto the front straightaway, but we've got a battle on the outside split.
Yeah, Zeke Heim and Ryder Wilderbauer. Oh, excuse me. That's
Taylor Skellett. Taylor
Yeah,
Skellett out there in second place right now. She goes wide and allows 44 Zeke Heim to get in there and take away that second position. Taylor in third right now.
Wow, out in front. Is that
Revan Harris?
Revan Harris.
He is charging on that inside split. Revan out of Gilbert, Arizona on that Commander GP1. And he is flying around this race course. Revan's got a sixth in Moto 1 and a first in Moto 2.
Ryder Wilderbauer is riding like a man possessed.
He is charged back by Zeke Heim. Now Ryder Wilderbauer going after Revan Harris.
It's like, come here, buddy. I want to play. Let's go.
Wow, these two are going to have a battle, it looks like. Woo! The Commander GP1 versus the Pro Watercraft Pro Force. Going to see a little battle between those two aftermarket hulls right here.
Well, I'll tell you what. Ryder Wilderbauer was going down that back straightaway about as fast as I've seen anybody go down it this weekend.
He is
was
flying.
Really cooking.
He is flying.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it's the color of the boat, but Aaron Gawicki on that 17 bullet hull, man, that thing was fast as well.
Oh, yeah, it was really fast, and he rode like a wild man yesterday, especially that Moto number 3. He let it all hang out.
Yes, he did.
He had a good showing. He looked
Yeah.
fast.
He
didn't have the results he would have liked yesterday, but he certainly had speed, showed a lot of speed.
Yeah, well, he certainly presented himself and his company well.
Just a quick note to everybody, about 15 minutes following the final race today, we will be ready to go with awards. About 15 minutes following the final moto today, we will do awards. And speaking of awards, we're going to find out who gets the award here at Amateur Ski GP as Ryder Wilderbauer chases down Revan Harris. A great battle here in this Moto 3, and we'd have to look at the numbers because Revan has a 6 and a 1. Wilderbauer has a 3 and a 4.
They're tied.
Zeke's got a 1 and a 3. So Zeke gets a 3. That's to give him 7. Actually, Zeke Heim might take the overall in this class.
If he finishes third or better, he can't lose.
He's going to take, and he's in third right now.
Look at him. He's just taking a Sunday ride out now.
So he's in third. So both Revan Harris and Ryder Wilderbauer, as fast as they are, have gone. And here comes Wilderbauer. This is going to be a good moto, regardless of the overall. What a great Moto 3 taking place here in Amateur Ski GP as Revan goes to the inside split, Ryder goes outside, and these two young guns are battling here in Moto number 3 at Amateur Ski P. Two of the top up-and-coming riders
Well, here comes
in the world
Wilderbauer. He
are
was on
going
that front
after it.
straightaway first, Rick, and Revan Harris had the position, but Wilderbauer set up really wide to keep the speed down the front straightaway. Almost made the pass.
two of the fastest young riders in the world going at it right now here in Panama City Beach during round one of the 2020 Pro Watercross National Tour, and we are seeing a great battle take place. Wildebauer started to catch Harris on that last lap, made a mistake, allowed Harris to gain a couple of boat lengths. Harris goes outside, Wildebauer goes inside. Here comes Harris back onto that front straightaway, and Wildebauer makes the turn right next to him. Wow.
I'll tell you what, I was going to ask you, when they were on the back straightaway, I'm thinking Victor Sheldon, Chris McCluggage, you know, the battles of those two riders, anything better than what these two are putting out for us right now.
No question. I mean, really, you'll go back to Victor and Fish, Jeff, Harry Gocher, those four. I mean, that's what this reminds me of. Chris came along just a little bit later, a little younger than those four. Yeah, the battles these guys are having, these young guns, as we call them in our sport, are very reminiscent of that. And these two are superstars in the making right here, Revan Harris and Ryder Wildebauer. And all we miss right now is the marketing ability that Jet Pilot applied to the young guns back in the 80s when they created rock stars between the tour being on the Bud Jet Sports Tour on ESPN, Hot Summer Nights, remember, on
no question,
prime time every week. And then you had the marketing prowess of Jet Pilot at that time, which really created the personalities and images, and these two fit that persona
like
absolutely
a glove.
Yes, like a glove. And look at white flag out. Here we go. Wildebauer on the inside trying to get that lead, wrestle that lead away from Harris. Harris looks over at him.
Look at them. Wildebauer is just putting that boat anywhere there's an inch worth of space. Oh, this back straightaway is going to be a lot of fun, Rick.
Well,
and the split course, where are you going?
Harris got a better drive heading on to the back straightaway. Wildebauer really swung a little wide before he went on to the back straight, allowed Harris to get away. Here we go. This is going to be it. Harris goes to the inside split. Ryder Wildebauer to the outside. Looks like Harris is going to have a very slight advantage. Wildebauer making the turn with a full head of steam. But it's going to be Harris. What a job. What a moto, ladies and gentlemen. Right there is a perfect example of pro watercross racing at its finest. The young guns putting on a show. They shake hands as they come off the course, and we are going to see a lot of fireworks from these two for years to come, Kurt. Man, Ryder Wildebauer and Revan Harris, what a battle. But it's going to be 44 Zeke Kime that unofficially is going to bring that Kawasaki SXR 1500 across the finish line, and he is going to take the overall, again, unofficially here this afternoon. Oh, man. All right. Catch our breath a little bit and go back down to the starting line. So we went from, this is perfect. We went from state-of-the-art aftermarket stand-up hulls doing battle out there. Now we go to the original stand-ups that really started this whole thing, the vintage 550 mod class, the crew from Texas, back on the starting line.
The Jurassic class. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes. Actually, and we love them.
Yeah, and Ralph Henning, 52 years old, not the oldest rider in the class, by the way, has 2 wins. He's out of Orange, Texas. Ralph is there on the number 17 machine, and there they go. Well, there goes some of them.
And we can see where the difference in the sport, right? From the last moto to this moto, and it's fun. And, you know, we all love it. We're up here in the tower, Robert Sand, myself, You know, I mean, we all started on these watercraft, and it's fun to watch.
We were talking yesterday to Jeff Kamikaze Kantz about Harry Gocher. Harry came by to see him, and I was thinking, man, Harry was he was a kick. That guy was on fire all the time, on or off the course, it didn't really matter. And same holes. Look out there, squint your eyes just a little bit. There they are again.
Yeah. Holland Harry was a lot of fun, you know, from Vegas, and God, known Harry since before he even really started racing, when he first started novice, and he was kind of part of our Vegas jet skiers crew in the early days, and great guy, great kid, and love him.
As long as we're saying
miss
that,
him.
Christy Carlson.
Great riders from back in the day, and put this sport on the map. And on these 550s, we witnessed, oh man, battle after battle, race after race, and it was a hell of a time, I'll tell you that.
Well, a lot of it was just attrition too. It was just, you know, could you, rider down on the far side of there, you're going out to get him. Can you keep that 550 running, especially once you get into the mod class? Those crankshafts were turning like twice the RPMs they were designed for, their original design was.
Yeah, and Jeff Jacobs had the advantage of having PJS build his skis, and PJS was pretty much second to none.
Absolutely.
Both speed and reliability. There were very few failures that Jeff experienced.
Yeah, they were the Ferrari of personal watercraft racing, no question about it.
And I always felt like if Harry could have been on a PJS, he may have gotten a little bit. I think he could have given Jeff a run for the money a little better than and he did well, make no mistake. But I think if Harry had the support and been on a PJS boat, I think he'd have been right there with Jacobs personally.
Yeah, no question about it.
But he was. But Jeff was Jeff had it all going on, man. He had the support, a great family behind him. They all rode. His brother Mike was a great rider. Certainly his mom, Karen, was a top women's racer. And they just had a great program and a great company, PJS, building their equipment. That's a tough combination to beat, Kurt.
Oh, I know. I'm just, as you're saying that, I'm thinking Karen and Karen Jacobs and Brenda Burns, some of the battles that they have.
Yeah, oh man, epic women's racing.
Right, really. I mean, those girls were no joke.
And Christy and I mean, all of them. I mean, the women's class was exciting. We loved it. 550 down on the right-hand side of the course. These guys, it's fun. This is a cool class because not just as vintage 550s, and these guys are running the Tubbies and the Sponsons, so they've got them all decked out with all the trick stuff for 550s these days. But they all came from Texas together. They're all, I'm sure they all travel together and are buddies, and so it's got to be a lot of fun for them too.
Yeah, I'm sure you're thinking about the Old River crew. I'm thinking of the Camp Far West crew up in Northern California, which is a hotbed of personal watercraft racing forever. I mean, that is the lake to go to and practice. They love the jet skiers there. We've got our own cove that's set up, and we've had national races up there.
And you know what it's like to go on the road and travel with your crew and go to the races, and I mean that's just a good experience. That's so much fun. That's the best of times.
And I'll tell you what, there's nothing better than doing it with family. You know, watching Derek Powell and the Skellets, the Nemes. You go out with your kids, and the whole family gets out. You get to travel over states that you wouldn't have any reason to go to, and meet people and see things. I tell every one of my children, do not let your life go by without driving around this United States, because it is a beautiful, beautiful country. We've got some phenomenal people, and it doesn't matter where you go.
Nope.
You find good people everywhere.
Checkered flag comes out, making a clean sweep on the weekend. 17, Ralph Henning out of Orange, Texas. So he was definitely the class of the field here in the 550 vintage mod class. But you're right, Kurt. That's very well said. There's so many places in this country. I've been fortunate enough to go to a lot of them with jet ski racing and a lot of beautiful beaches like we're here in Panama City Beach. But so many places I want to see, you know, the national parks and all the different places.
Absolutely.
So much, and you're right. You can't beat it. It's the best, some of the best times of your life.
And you don't even need a digital phone. You don't need a laptop. You don't need an iPad. All you need is a vehicle.
That's it. And it is absolutely something that you need to do in your life. And the people that travel on the tour and get to travel from event to event, and it's an experience they'll take with them their entire life.
You know, as we're sitting here talking about it, Thanksgiving, where our family is, everybody's joining up outside Yosemite. And it's been a decade since I've been in Yosemite. It's only, you know, a couple hours from my house. The problem is you need to make reservations a year in advance.
It's a phenomenal place, but that's one thing, though. All these places have gotten so popular. It's a little bit of a bummer, but, you know, it is what it is. And people are
worth being at.
People have caught on to how wonderful these state and national parks are, and all these different places. You're right. Yeah, Yosemite is mind-boggling. If you've never been there, it's absolutely impossible to describe.
Well, it's the Lake Powell of.
It's
just dry Lake
it's just
Powell.
impossible to describe.
Right.
It's overwhelming.
It's gorgeous. Oh, and that's unfortunate.
Wow.
Bringing in the 296.
Amateur runabout box stock on the starting line, getting back to racing now. Number 110 on the line out of Bradenton with a pair of wins. Clean sweep so far this weekend is Tory Snyder.
On the 149 out of Perdido Key, Florida, David Howell.
Number 157 from Summerland, Florida, it is Jim Bennett.
On the 176 out of Miami, Florida, Valentina Lescano.
Number 215 from Canton, Georgia, Seth Nema.
And Michael Borges, I don't believe, is on the line, so we'll go down to the 420 of Greg Robertson out of Panama City Beach, Florida.
And 808 from Mooresville, North Carolina is Graham Hunt. Here we go, amateur runabout box stock, moto number 3.
Tory Snyder putting his hand in the air, not happy with something there. They've got it going. Whoa, Jim Bennett got a drive there. He may be able to sweep on the outside. He definitely won't get the whole shot on the inside. There goes Bennett on the outside, keeping that thing pinned.
Snyder on the inside. Looks like Tory's running strong on that inside split. That Jim.
Wow. Buries the nose of
Wow.
that boat. And that's Graham Hunt in second position. Graham trying to get his first win of the year. Here comes gentleman Jim Bennett. He's got some company, though.
Well, Tory, nice job on that inside split. Never missed a beat and worked right into the lead.
Well, back there with Bennett is Valentina Lescano. So those are the repaired shoulders going after each other. And Bennett with the lead, but Valentina right there. Last photo, she didn't have quite the drive, but man, she just stuffed it in there under Bennett. Didn't have quite enough speed to make it happen. Let's see what happens as they come around. Of course, Tory got the lead. In second, Graham Hunt, and here comes gentleman Jim Bennett on that 157. That's your top 3. Lescano loses 4th position to Seth Nema. Seth Nema out of Canton, Georgia.
And Tory Snyder leaving nothing to the imagination as he absolutely is ripping the laps here in Panama City Beach on that number 110 Yamaha out in front here of the amateur runabout box stock class.
And I'll tell you what a difference from the last moto, right? I mean, I kind of felt like Tory's head wasn't in the game there in the first couple of laps. He came back and got it in the end. But boy, no fooling around. He got the whole shot. He's gone.
Yeah, he is. He is on the gas here in moto number 3. Looking for a clean sweep this weekend in this box stock runabout class. Stock Runabout. Interesting name. Fast boats.
Yeah, that runabout thing is just kind of almost demeaning for what these boats are. You know, runabout. It's a runabout.
These are fast watercraft.
They should call them attack missiles. That's what they ought to call them.
Pretty much.
Well, the way Tori's riding it, they should. And look at Graham Hunt.
Hunt is on the gas here.
Whoa, Jim Bennett too.
Man, they turned some fast lap times on these runabouts. Amazing. Yeah, Hunt with a 5 and a 3 so far this weekend. Bennett's got a pair of seconds, but it's definitely been all Tori Snyder with a pair of wins, and he again is in the lead here in Moto number 3.
Yeah, well, Tori hit the go button right off the bat, and you know what? With the fresh water in front of him and a good boat underneath him, there's not a lot that can happen unless Tori makes it happen in a negative way.
Yeah, and speaking of young guns, Tori Snyder's 17 years old. You know, he's got a good program backing him.
Oh, yeah.
Team Snyder, and he's got Tim Judge, you know, working on those boats. That's a potent combination. Going to be tough to beat as Tori gets more experience and gets faster and faster. He's going to be picking up where Troy leaves off at one point.
That's the plan, and that day's coming soon.
Could be.
And I mean that in a positive way, too.
I hate to see it, but could be.
Yeah, it's just another dad-son combination or dad-daughter combination where it's just time. It's time for the kids to take over. And you know what? It gets, when you and your children are racing, it's really expensive. When you go back down, you know, in the mod class and at the top of the sport. But as you back away and you only have one rider to support, and then you've got, you know, your parent who's got that experience on the water, man, it's tough to beat that program. And the Snyders are doing it out here right now.
Well, you did that as well, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. You know firsthand what that's like.
I know that my son was way faster than I was.
Always?
Well, not always. I mean, you know, there was a conception thing, and he was slow as heck there. It took him 9 months before I even saw him. Did I say that out loud? I must have.
Oh, that is awesome.
But it really, that feeling, that family feeling, it permeates the atmosphere here this weekend, Rick. It really is. It's almost like the sport is reborn. The excitement that's here, there's been almost no drama that I've seen at all, and lots of support. The families are supporting each other as well as their own kids.
Yeah, it's been an amazing transformation to watch take place over the last few years, for sure, for me, and to see the emergence of these former kids that we're calling the young guns now, as they emerge from the junior classes and just kind of started feeling their way around a racetrack to now dominating in a lot of classes. White flag, 1 lap to go for Tori Snyder as he is looking to make it a clean sweep. You know, Graham Hunt, though, is keeping him honest here in Moto number 3.
I was just going to say, Rick, Graham Hunt has been pursuing Tori Snyder all day long, and he's right. I mean, he hasn't lost a lot of distance over the course of this race compared to the 2 prior motos. Graham just getting in the swing of things. He's a great competitor.
Yeah, he is. 28 years old, out of Mooresville, North Carolina, riding for Riva Fly Racing and Jet Pilot, HydroTurf Champion Power Sports. Graham Hunt is always up there, running hard, and always good to see him out here at the races. Very consistent, fast rider. 110. Tori Snyder takes the checkered flag. Fist pump up in the air.
Yeah,
He's pumped.
well earned.
Yeah, 3 wins in this class. A clean sweep for Tori Snyder. Graham Hunt will take second here in Moto number 3.
And gentleman Jim Bennett coming across in third. So 1, 2, 3. Each moto exactly the same. 4th spot, Seth Nema.
Oh, we're winding down. Say it ain't so.
Yeah. Oh, surprise. Moto number 4 is coming up. All right, amateur ski stock, race 27 on the number 15, Kawasaki, I'm thinking Yamaha, out of High Point, North Carolina, sponsored by SDB Racing, SML Signs, and Easy Ski, Connor Richuk.
Boat number 18 out of the Rutherford, North Carolina, on the B&N Power Sport, powered by Prayer Yamaha. That is Brad Hill.
No matter how many times we try and say it, it's a tongue twister.
It is a tongue twister. It really
on
is.
the double 3 out of Crestview, Florida, sponsored by Brits Power Sports, Zachary Eisenhut.
Number 44 out of Syracuse, Indiana, riding for Speed Racing, Synergy RV Transport, Ignite Fuel, Z-Force Bullet Racing, and Technical Service, Zeke Kime.
On the double 5, also from the Indiana Mafia, Jay Finlinson.
Number 85, Dustin Higgin out of Chattanooga, Tennessee.
On the double 9, out of Syracuse, Robbie Finlinson.
315 out of Marietta, South Carolina, Taylor Stewart. And 711, Andrew Hancock out of Swanee, Georgia. Here we go. Amateur ski stock, moto number 3.
Looks like Dustin Higdon got a good drive on the outside there.
Number 15, Connor Richuk, sweeps into the lead. Early on here, he goes to the outside split. And boy, the Syracuse Mafia well represented in this race.
There's just no holding them back. You know what they say in Syracuse, don't you? If you really want to race, you got to come to Indiana.
Yeah, that's a fact. So Richuk out in front. That is 99. Robbie Finlinson in second.
Taylor Stewart back there in 4th, followed by Zeke Kime. Is that Robbie or Jay Finlinson back there? No, I'm sorry, Andrew Hancock.
You got to check that number on the 3rd place ski. That looks like one we don't have listed here. Somebody must have borrowed somebody's boat.
Oh, Wildebauer?
That's
That's
Jay Finlinson.
Okay. That makes sense.
15, Richuk. 99, Finlinson.
And Jay Finlinson on the 888.
888 there. Threw us for a little loop. We recovered. So Finlinson and Finlinson.
Hey, I can't believe that there's a 55 boat that didn't make the starting line out of Indiana. That almost never happened.
That's unheard of.
Unheard of.
It wasn't the EX, though. Connor Richuk, High Point, North Carolina, and he is leading this thing. He had a 3rd in moto number 1, a 5th in moto number 2.
Brad Hill coming down the straightaway. Oh, got Ryder over on the far right-hand side. Got an issue.
Zeke Kime again
Zeke,
in good position.
Oh, got it up.
Zeke had a 1st and a 2nd in the first 2 motos. Let's see where he's at right now, because he might be in a good position for the overall as he just spins out coming onto the front straightaway.
It's never over till it's over, right?
Man, I tell you what, it is amazing, particularly in the ski class, where a rider can go down at any time. It just happens. It is what it is.
Up next, Rick, just to let these guys know, veterans runabout box stock, amateur runabout super stock combined. Look at our sports stock riders. They're excited. They're out 2 races before they need to be.
Connor Richuk hanging on to the lead in front of 99. Robbie Finlinson.
And there's Jay Finlinson in third. Brad Hill has been lapped. Zeke Kime coming up with the 4, but there's Taylor Stewart. Taylor Stewart trying to shove the nose of that Yamaha in there. Is able to get between Brad Hill and the rider in front of him. Watch as they go at it.
And a rider goes down. Looks like Zeke Kine may make up a position. That rider may be down a lap, though. Yes, he is. Zeke Kime now got some clean water as he's trying to track down the leaders. He is in 4th place. So that, I still think that would give him the overall for the day. He may be looking at a couple overalls here this weekend.
Yeah, not a bad trip out of Syracuse, huh? You guys taking home some hardware.
Yep, it looks like it. Halfway, flags are out. Connor Richuk maintaining the lead over the Finlinsons, running 2 and 3. And then Zeke Kime now in 4th.
Yeah, Zeke stays, I think he can go back to 6th and still win no matter what anybody else does. So he's in a good position as long as that ski keeps running.
Connor Richuk down the front straightaway one more time and hanging on to that lead. The Finlinsons, Robbie and Jay trying to track him down. Oh, and Connor goes down momentarily, allows 99, Robbie Finlinson to catch up, and then Robbie bobbles a little bit. Jay right there on his brother's back door, and those guys, I mean, they train together right. How many laps?
I was just going to say, what an advantage it is for the entire Syracuse crew. Have Derek Powell and all the support that they have out there. These guys are running. I've heard stories of them running laps where they had to go out to the pond and break the ice to get the boats in the water. So they take maximum advantage of every opportunity to be on the water, to train, and to, continue development on their boats. And it's sure showing, right?
Oh, man, and how. And Zeke Kime now has moved into 3rd place. Robbie trying to get inside of Connor Richuk as they come down the front straightaway. Now it's Richuk, Jay Finlinson, Robbie Finlinson, and Zeke Kime, followed by Jay Finlinson in 4th.
And we're getting into lapped riders here. Connor Richuk better wick it up. He's got a Finlinson crew coming after him.
Well, I think we need to keep an eye on 44, Zeke Kime. Kime is on the gas right now. He's coming up behind Robbie Finlinson, and looks like he's going to put the pass on Robbie going into the split. He goes to the outside.
Oh, yeah, Robbie stuck it there on the inside and has a rider right in front of him.
And Connor Richuk now is going to have his hands full, I think, with Zeke Kime as these laps start winding down here.
Zeke's taking it right here.
Here comes Zeke on the front straightaway. He goes from 3rd to 1st in half a lap.
Wow.
44, Zeke Kime, looking at an overall sweep here in amateur ski stock.
Wait a minute. Do you see that on the beach? Derek Powell has a remote control.
And then Connor goes down. Once Zeke got by, he lost his focus, and and he's down again now. So, boy, that happened. We see that happen all the time.
Well, you know what happens, Rick, and it's nothing against the riders that it's happening to. But when you have a crew like this that gets to race against each other and practice against each other, physically, muscle memory, your endurance, it just gets, your lung capacity increases. And the only way to do it is by, calisthenics or riding. And what happens late in these motos is that it always comes to the top. Uh-oh, rider down here.
White flag out, 1 lap to go. I like calisthenics. I haven't heard that word in decades. I like it.
Thank you, sir.
You broke one out there, calisthenics.
whipping out the calisthenics right here at the end of the weekend.
What is that?
Well,
you mean working
that's
out?
where that's exactly. You take weights and you move. You don't need a Peloton or a belt on. You just start walking, okay?
I love it.
You start lifting rocks and breaking bricks, brother.
Calisthenics. Oh, that's awesome. I haven't heard that. That's great. It's called working out now, but yeah, you're right. I love it.
It was the John F. Kennedy, presidential.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's right.
Calisthenics program.
Zeke, one more turn to go. Look at Zeke Kine, went from mid-pack, worked his way up past everybody, and going to take the win here in Moto number 3. So Zeke's going to have a first, a second, and a first overall in amateur ski stock. And it looks like Jay Finlinson ended up second. And from there, I'm not sure, probably Robbie, but unofficially we'll check it out.
Yeah, Derek Powell comes by, says, well, that's the Indiana Mafia, first, second, and third.
They're loving it, man. They're cheering on their crew. They're going to have a really nice ride back to Syracuse, Indiana, because they are going to have a lot of hardware to load up to take home.
Well, you want to check out the Pro Watercross website a little later in the year where you can sign up for Derek Powell's riding school. Of course, you got to go to Syracuse, Indiana in the winter. That'll toughen you up.
That's right. That gets you calloused. That gets you calloused for racing. Oh, thank you.
Whoa, looky there now. Thank you, sir.
Oh, man, we have got on the starting line veterans runabout box stock and amateur runabout super stock.
Why do we have sport boats there,
And
too?
then we've got sport boats chomping at the bit because they're following. 28 is the runabouts, 29 is the sport boats.
All right, AJ Handler telling us that booth is going down any moment now. You may want to get over there. If you want to get a shirt, one of the official Pro Watercross 2020 shirts, go over there and see him in the next 5 minutes. He's shutting it down. In Veterans Runabout box stock on the 242 C2 out of Charlotte, North Carolina, Arlo Nunes.
Number 247 out of Claremont, Florida, Michael Osborne.
On the 528 C2 out of Charlotte, North Carolina, Frank Ortiz.
In amateur runabout super stock, I don't believe Michael Borges is out there today.
Actually, we're already over by one.
We've got 247 and 528.
Yeah, so no.
Frank Ortiz and Michael Osborne. Veterans runabout box stock. And Osborne gets a great jump out of the thing.
Oh, Osborne with a drive.
Osborne got a really big jump out of the gate. That rubber band snapped and he was gone, hooked up. And they've got that 247 pretty dialed in.
Yeah, well, like I said, saw him on Friday at registration, and he walked up nonchalant and says, yeah, I'm going to race. It's been a couple of years. I'm like, yeah, you were doing pretty good. I mean, Dylan is the child. Of course, they're looking at that.
Dad's taking that 247 out and put it to good use here.
Final race of the day coming up, Sport Stock.
How could that be? How could we be done winding down here? Oh, man. More motos. Michael Osborne. White flag out. Michael Osborne absolutely running away here. Michael, this is the veterans runabout box stock. Michael, 58 years old, out of Clermont, Florida. I think I said Claremont. I believe it's Clermont, if I'm not mistaken. You know, 528. And Michael Frank Ortiz, he is out of Charlotte, North Carolina. He's a veritable youngster at 41. Osborne at 58, man, he is laying down the tracks out here. Checkered flag comes out. Osborne takes the win. Okay, Ortiz comes in, second position. And that will take us to the final race of the weekend of round number 1 of the Pro Watercross Tour. It is going to be sports stock, which is going to be a great way to end it. It's been really exciting so far. We are going to be in for some good racing here on the starting line. Boat number 2 out of Port Charlotte, Florida, Hayden Skellett.
On the number 13 out of Davie, Florida, Sammy Niemi.
Number 36 out of Bonita Springs, Florida, Jason Sahagan.
On the 86 Polaris out of Dawsonville, Georgia, no one else but Wyatt Hayes.
Number 95 out of Davie, Florida, Ken Waddle.
On the 116 out of Ackworth, Georgia, it is Devin Farthing.
Number 201 out of Delray Beach, Florida, Christopher Landis.
On the 239 out of Port Charlotte, Florida, Bobby Cardone.
Also out of Port Charlotte, Florida, number 295, Taylor Skellett.
On the 296, also out of Port Charlotte, Thomas Skellett.
Number 521 out of Ackworth, Georgia, Talon Farthing.
And rounding out the field out of Bonita Springs, Florida, on that 699, John Horan.
Here we go, moto number 3. This is for all the marbles in sports stock.
Oh, Sammy Niemi with a strong start. Niemi going to get the whole shot here. Sammy Niemi, large and in charge. He had a 5th and a 6th. He'd like to finish the day off with a 1st, and he's in that position now. Looks like Bobby Cardone was in 2nd, back to 3rd now.
And Niemi had like 5 boat lengths on the field around the first turn, Kurt.
Yeah, he was gone.
Niemi on the inside split.
Farthing
on that outside split. Niemi onto the front straightaway with a commanding lead. Christopher Landis looks like he's going to edge out Farthing for that 2nd position.
Yeah, he's got the position, but Devin just drives right through it. Cardone going to try and sweep on that HX. Oh, and Devin goes sideways. Cardone goes by.
Wow.
Devin stays up, though. Ooh, as he does that, Ken Waddle makes his move. Waddle up into 4th position.
Rare mistake by Devin Farthing on that blaster. And that's going to cost him a couple of positions there.
Yeah, it hurt him a lot right there, but he's got time. It's early in the moto. Boy, Sammy Niemi, he wants that win, and boy, he's in a position to get it. Bobby Cardone on fire on the outside there.
And Nemi just charging. What a jump he got out of the gate. Like I said, he led everybody by 5 boat lengths around the first turn. And Christopher Landis now in second, Cardone third.
And the Farthing brothers, Talon and Devin, going at it. Devin cutting tight, Talon getting pushed to the outside. And brother on brother pushing each other forward, trying to catch up with the leaders.
And then keep an eye on Hayden Skellett, number 2, behind the Farthings. So we got a lot of battles taking place out on the race course right now.
Such quality riders out there throughout the lineup. I mean, it really doesn't matter where you go. You've got some quality racers out there. Sammy Nemi showing he's going to be the class of the field here in Moto number 3. Looks over. Looking for cross flags already.
Sammy's got a 5 and a 6 score so far this weekend. And
yeah, that kind of puts him out of the
Ken
top.
Waddle in a great position, and Devin Farthing also real consistent with a pair of thirds. Waddle with a pair of seconds,
and Bobby Cardone with a 1st and a 5th. There, he's tied with Devin, and 2 back of Waddle. So Ken Waddle in a great position. Christopher Landis taking the outside. Sammy Nemi just tearing up with precision the inside split course. This time through, he is just cutting every buoy to maximum value. Christopher Landis in second position. And I believe that's Talon Farthing got up and running again.
Yeah, that was Talon down in the
here comes
right-hand side of the track. He's up and underway.
Ken Waddle pushing Bobby Cardone hard on the right side of the track. Cardone looked, and Cardone goes over. There goes Waddle. There goes Farthing. And Cardone missed a buoy. Ooh, that's going to be interesting on scoring.
Well, he'll have a chance to make that up as he comes around.
You can, but there's something about not gaining progress by missing a buoy, even if you take the Joker buoy. But we'll see what happens. It doesn't really matter. I mean, Cardone off the side of that boat, pulled the trigger, got back on it. He was at the back straightaway.
Yeah, he's going to the makeup buoy, so see what happens as he comes around. Looks like Farthing dives inside. Devin Farthing dives inside of Cardone. Cardone's got a little top end on Farthing down that straightaway. Do you see that?
Yeah.
No, his boat was definitely faster on the top end than that blaster.
Yeah, in Moto 1 and here in Moto 3, Cardone's boat really fast. Second Moto, don't know what was going on.
Well, he's definitely had some speed on Farthing coming down the front straightaway. No, you could see that, no question about it.
Well, that HX hull, when ridden properly,
yep,
in rough water, which, you know, we're getting rougher and rougher as the afternoon goes on, and the quantity of boats that are on the water.
That can make all the difference in the world as Sammy Nemi comes by in the lead. Landis in second, Waddle in third, Farthing in fourth.
Skellett in fifth, and here comes Cardone like a rubber band back towards him. Wyatt Hayes
He's in
on the
sixth.
Polaris behind him.
Hayes, oh yeah, so Cardone's in sixth now.
Is that Taylor? Yeah, Taylor Skellett.
Sammy Nemi right now, wire to wire. He has been charging. Came out of the gate on fire, and he has never let off. No mistakes, a clean run so far in the race by Sammy Nemi as he comes around down the front straightaway one more lap and opens up that lead just a little bit over Landis.
Did you see that Kevin Scott throwing out the blue and yellow flag to tell John Horan that the leaders are coming around? And I'm not sure that John saw it, but boy, talk about quality people. Kevin Scott, you are the man. And Horan moves over as he should.
Kevin, just an outstanding job on the tower. He really took over that position last year and has become just an outstanding flagman on top of the races, on top of his game. I think, you know, the entire time it's just there's never issues.
Yep, he's on it.
because that's who really has control of the race is the guy on the tower right there on the water.
Don't tell Robert that. He thinks he's in charge.
Yeah, well, I know, but I wouldn't say anything to him.
Kevin really does it remotely from out there. Oh, I've never seen Robert's head get red like that before. I mean, without getting sunburned. No, we joke around. Robert Sands, potentially the finest race director on the planet.
Potentially.
Over the last 15 years.
Potentially.
There are some very respectful people that I wouldn't want to say no.
I'm kidding you.
Yeah. Yeah. Who did you get that from? There you go. He handed it right to you when he walked away. Kind of like that other cylinder. Wait a minute, that's another story. Here comes Christopher Landis in second position. He's trying to chase Sammy Niemi down. Not having much luck, though. Niemi is really in a full-on attack position still, and Christopher Landis is stretching his back out, trying to relax on that boat. Niemi is wide open.
And Niemi has made no mistakes. He has been flying around the race course, out of the rubber band, just let it loose, and we got a rider down.
Cordone
at the end of the back straightaway.
Yeah, Bobby Cordone hit the water at Mach 7 there, and that boat was fast.
Hit the eject button, huh?
Uh-huh. A little bit, he knows what the water's like in Port Charlotte. Just wanted to test it here in Panama City.
Of course.
There goes Sammy Niemi, still large and in charge, extending his lead now with every lap. I mean, literally, he's getting further and further ahead. Here's the race. Devin Farthing trying to chase down Ken Waddle with Hayden Skellett right there. Farthing looking over at Hayden, wants to make sure he can move over, doesn't want to get in his pump washer to push him off his boat.
Nope.
I love that about Devin Farthing. He's very considerate as a racer.
He really is. He really a joy to watch race out there because he's fast and, like you said, a real sportsman, very considerate, great attitude, always got a smile on his face.
Right?
He's having fun, man. He loves this. And he's fast.
Oh, yeah, well, so's Hayden. Hayden's
Way
really
fast.
fast.
They are so fast, these young guys. It's fun.
White flag out.
Final lap. Sammy Niemi comes around on his final. Here comes Landis taking the white flag. And now Waddle right up behind Landis, maintaining that third position with Farthing right behind him and then Skellett.
Well, this is it. 3/4 of a lap to go. Who's going to make a move? Who's going to raise their position? Who does it make a difference for? Let's check them out.
Waddle's in a good position, right? He'll have five. No, he'll have 7. And the checkered flag comes out. Sammy Niemi takes the win here in Moto number 3. And it's got to feel good for Sammy to finally get that win here in Sport Stock Moto number 3, 201. What do we got going on? Trying to see what we got going on out here. Got a rider down on the outside of the track right now. Landis comes by.
Ken Waddle will get the overall here.
He comes cruising in slowly. And then Devin, I mean, they're not even racing. Strange. The strangest finish I've ever seen.
I don't know if they threw a red flag up out there. Maybe off the boat, which
perhaps
would be unusual.
That is Wyatt Hayes on the Polaris out there in the water right now. And he's being brought in by our course marshal, unfortunately. Hate to see that.
Especially the last moto of the day.
I know it.
As I go through the points here, Rick, just we'll wait and see what happens with White as they bring him in. Hopefully he's okay. Just a little bit of air knocked out of him. Ken Waddle is your overall winner. Man, I know a certain Jan out there is going to be a happy woman. And he did that with 7 points. Then believe Devin Farthing going to get second overall with 10 points. And Sammy Niemi will have third with a dozen, unofficially.
Oh, man, Kurt, I hate to see it over. What a weekend of racing, but it has come to a conclusion here in beautiful Panama City Beach, Florida.
It has, and as I look down on the beach, people are just jumping out into the water now that the races are over. Look down there. There's Jimmy Wilson. He's raising the next level of racers right there in front of him.
Yeah, they're enjoying. Everybody's out there enjoying this gorgeous afternoon, Sunday afternoon. The water here in Panama City Beach, Florida, gorgeous, just gorgeous and beautiful. The sandy beaches. What a weekend here, hosted by Sharky's Beach Restaurant. A lot of fun the entire weekend, and man, did we see some great racing, huh?
Phenomenal racing, great cooperation among racers, people helping, letting them use their boats. I mean, you just see it over and over and over again. I really feel like this is like it's a springboard to raise the sport. And this weekend is really good. And you know what? We got to thank AJ Handler, Jennifer Handler, Pro Watercross. We haven't even mentioned this is they've been doing this 25 years already.
25th anniversary
of
putting on watercraft racing events. Kudos to the handlers and Pro Watercross because it has been a phenomenal run. 2020 is just getting rolling. I just want to say I know it's so good to be back here at the beach. Our country has just gone through so much, and without anything going on, no sports, no racing. And I think as a society, as humans, we need the diversion of entertainment. Racing is entertainment, sports is entertainment, and it's good to be able to bring this to our watercraft racing fans because it's been a long time coming. So really good to be back after a long winter and kind of a tough springtime, to say the least. A couple of canceled events, but we're back. Looking forward to Lake Hartwell, Georgia in 2 weeks. And it's just a good vibe to be back with everybody and getting the racing going again, Kurt.
No question about it. I know you've missed me, Rick, as I have you.
Absolutely.
We talk during the winter occasionally, and always great to see each other here. I love the fact that we can come out to Florida, even amongst all this, all with the travel hassles, all that melted behind me. The face mask, forget all that stuff. Look at this. Racing is happening. It's happening at Pro Watercross, and all is right with the world.
Yeah, for the moment, it's really a beautiful thing, and we hope you enjoyed it as much as we certainly have enjoyed bringing it to you. And one other note again, 2 weeks we'll be in Lake Hartwell, Georgia, and it's going to be a good event there as well. Always a great sight.
Man, that Tougaloo State Park, that was so much fun last year. I am looking forward to it, Rick. I can't wait, and luckily we'll be out here, for the next 2 weeks. My lovely wife and I, going to take in some more of the South. We love the Panhandle down here. And,
I know you do. Enjoy yourself. I'm gonna wing it back to Southern California for a couple weeks and join you, in Georgia.
We look forward to it, Georgia.
Absolutely. So,
them Georgia peaches.
That's going to do it. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Take care.
You're Rick Lake. I'm Kurt Nolenberg. we're out of here.
Fun at the beach, dance underneath the stars, sand on my feet. The sun is always shining for you. White sand and turquoise blue. Oh, let's explore, make it yours.
TV. Presented by Frederick's Entertainment. Presented by 7-Up. Make 7-Up yours. 7-Up. Tiger Spice. Trendy fashions for stylish women and teens. Tiger Spice. Paul Mitchell. Professional hair products. Paul Mitchell. Sea-Doo. Everybody's doing it. Sea-Doo.
I'm Michelle Russo, and you're watching XS TV from our new home in Camarillo, California. Take a look.
Collins, and welcome to the Toyota Kawasaki United States Regional Championships at Westcoats Beach in beautiful Sackett's Harbor, New York. Did you know that's where we are? It is beautiful. This place has got a lot of history. The War of 1812 occurred here. Ulysses S. Grant baptized, I believe, his son in one of the churches right down the road. Beautiful history. This is a great area for diving, a lot of shipwrecks. And it's an even better area for races like we're doing here today. Teams participating today. We have Yamaha and Polaris, Toyota, Kawasaki, Sea-Doo, and a lot more, and everybody is geared up and ready to go racing at Westcoats State Beach Park. Westcoats Beach State Park. I was a little dyslexic, but that's okay. You can edit later. Everybody's geared up and ready to go nonetheless. Why do I feel suddenly uncomfortable with that thing so close to my face? There's like a zoom action on that, and you know that. You're gonna see my pores. Okay, Skip, AJ really didn't feel like doing this interview, so he's leaving it to the women to improvise. With us now we have Jody, and Jody's been doing this for how long?
Well, we've been racing for about 6 or 7 years now. 6 or 7 years.
Is the audio all right on that? Great. You guys have been racing 6 or 7 years. Your husband is actually a racer. What team is he with?
Well, we have our own team, actually. It's called Rev Racing. We're sponsored by ourselves and also by his employer, Connecticut Power and Sport.
Excellent. Now, how's he been doing?
He's been doing very well, actually. He's qualified for the World Finals for the last 3 years in a row.
Excellent. So what is the overview of events today? What are we looking at doing?
Well, today we have 19 classes on schedule. All those classes will consist of runabout, sport, and ski classes, both for men and women.
And this is kind of a different sort of a sport where men and women are actually running together.
In some of the classes they are.
Absolutely. Well, rock and roll to the women that are racing. I think we had a lady actually win out there.
We sure did. Actually, Tina Manise, she's been coming up in the ranks in the last couple of years. She's actually still a teenager, and she is fabulous.
Well, that's wonderful. Thanks for your time.
No problem.
My name is Tina Manise. I race Pro-Am Women 1200 and the men's expert 1200 limited. The last race, I got real tired because they red flagged it, so I was tired from the race before, and it got kind of choppy out, and I got passed about the last lap because I got too tired, and I got third overall. Yeah, once the helmets go on, they don't care who you are. They'll hit you, run you down, whatever. They don't care.
I'm Justin Hughes. That was expert 785 superstock runabout. And I think I got second in the end. I got the whole shot, but when I got to the first mark, I messed up. And everyone else got around me. Luckily, I caught up to some of them and passed most of them and ended up in second in the end. It's pretty rough out there, and it's also pretty damn cold out here today, to be honest with you, so we'll see how it goes tomorrow. For the season, I'd like to thank Slippery, HydroTurf, Hot Products, and my dad for paying for all this stuff. And that's about it. It was a good battle. I got out in front. I knew I had the lead. I was pushing it pretty hard. There's another guy that was coming. Kept taking the split. I saw him coming through, and I knew I had to push it. I pushed a little too hard there towards the end. I knew he was going to be right there. It was one lap to go, and I stuck a little hard in the corner. Got it lopsided and pitched me off. Just pushing a little hard there at the end, but you know, I had to get the win, and I knew I had to go hard. Today's only the first day. It's Moto 1, so tomorrow will really tell the tale. That's when you really got to win it. So tomorrow I'll be ready to go. I'd really like to thank my sponsors, Factory Polaris, for getting us here, and especially Precision Power, my tuner, my mechanic, John Kirby. It's his built boat. He's the primary guy behind this boat. It's only a limited, and we're running with the super stocks right now. Our other boat's still out at Polaris right now, getting built, and we look forward to getting that here pretty soon to finish up the circuit.
XSTV, it's groovy. Presented by 7-Up. Make 7-Up yours. 7-Up. Tiger Spice. Trendy fashions for stylish women and teens. Tiger Spice. Paul Mitchell. Professional hair products. Paul Mitchell. Sea-Doo. Everybody's doing it. Sea-Doo.
Hey, this is Access TV. Always real and in your face. See ya.
Pro Watercross, celebrating 25 years.
Upstate Watercraft welcomes you to their 1998 season demo. We have a dedicated staff and run fun but professional races. On the average, we draw in crowds in excess of 2,000 and have become a main attraction at festivals, which entertain over 50,000 people.
I think it's real great. It's very exciting.
When we found out about it, we called some of our friends and told them to come down and watch too.
Local media is almost always there to cover the events.
No problems at all. Beautiful area here. I hope that they'll do it again next year.
This is one of the best ones I've been at, really run professionally. Yeah, I'm definitely going to come back to something like this.
I've been to some other promoters around, and he's as good as I've seen. If not a little bit more organized than most of them.
My first time here, it was really good. We got a couple good series down in Jersey, but I think this is like one of the top ones I've been at so far.
Yeah, they've done a great job. We've had a beautiful day. There's lots of people watching, which is great. Spectators. We got the weather, nice beach. It's great.
Freestyle produces a lot of great racers, and AJ's been a wonderful race with his World Qualifier.
It's like everybody knows everybody. You know, you just, even though you don't know each other, you do know each other. You know, because you have something in common, which is racing.
I'll tell you what, they did an excellent job today. Everybody was very, very professional. The whole 2 days up here was great. I hope he gets 2 World Qualifiers next year.
Upstate Watercraft Promotions has grown exponentially for the past few years. Based in Rochester, New York, it finds itself at the center point of the Great Lakes and Finger Lakes regions and now hosts over 12 race days a season.
Pro Watercross, celebrating 25 years of racing excellence.